Hey guys. This story is called The Lost Heir. Basic summary. Naruto is 1/3 angel, 1/3 fallen angel, and 1/3 devil. Boom, there is all the information I am giving you. For now. Chapter 1, Take Off into the Unknown. Sitting atop the Kage Mountain in the Leaf Village sits a lone soul of a special breed of a race. His kind is known as a tribreed. A 1/3 ratio of 3 races blended together into one person. Originally he was a hybrid, but then he changed into a tribreed where things got a whole lot of interesting. The person is an ex-elite jounin, ex-umbu, and all-around badass is none other than our hero Naruto Uzumaki. Or moreover to his true name. Naruto Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto is wearing black anub pants fitted with extra pockets for his gear. Black shinobi sandals with shin guards attached to them for added protection. A fishnet armor mesh shirt with a white v-neck shirt over his mesh armor. Finally, he wears a Heir coat much like his father, but the color is a dark red with black flames licking the bottom. Around his neck is the necklace Tsunade given him after he won their bet. His hair is slightly mopped but still spiky, and its color now is sun-kissed golden blonde with crimson highlights. Bangs framed his face like his father. His eyes changed colors as well. His right eye is a deep sapphire blue without a pupil. His left eye is an amethyst purple without a pupil as well. He has 3 whisker marks on each cheek. Tied around his left and right bicep are the handbands for the allied shinobi forces and Konohagakure no Sato symbol. His body has become more Adonis-like as his frame is lean, compact, and powerful. Made from what looks like the finest marble and frozen in time thanks to him being immortal. Naruto was by far the most attractive male in the elemental nations. Ever. Around his waist is a sash made from silk, which is crimson red color. On his left side is a specially made sword he got from Mifune, leader of Iron Country. It was a reverse blade sword, which he had named Isamu. Instead, a curved blade, the sword blade was flipped in reverse. Now the part that normally has the blade is a nearly flat side that can be used as a blunt weapon. Moreover, where the blade curved back now is sharp as a razor. He had had this sword for all these years, and it severed him greatly. Since he really doesn't kill unless it's no longer a choice. It's been a decade since the 4th Shinobi War ended and Naruto refused to take the mantle of the Hokage. Stating, "I have one last journey before I take any mantle," to which no one had an idea of what he meant. However, knew he was stubborn to a fault, so did not press the issue. A number of things happened to Naruto to make him what he is now. Thanks to him hosting all the Bijou and being a pseudo-Jinchuriki of the Jubi. He was able to gain an affinity for every single element release, including sub-elements. However, he wrote it off as being a devil, fallen angel, and angel hybrid. Nevertheless, quickly learned that was not the case. Moreover, while Naruto is not the one for theories, seeing as that is more of Tsunade turf along with Sakura or even Shikamaru. But all his friends from so long ago had faded, and he was all that remained of his generation that fought in the 4th Shinobi War. He knew he could not stay long within the elemental nations for various reasons which should be oblivious. He hasn't aged a day since he turned 17. About a century or 2 had passed him by. He was 217 years old now currently. Naruto did no seeing as he spent most of his time training, mastering every shinobi art he could. Along with master his magical abilities such as his divine arts, demonic arts, and magic. Which to him a majority of his time as magic was different in nature than chakra or jutsu. While they were similar, Naruto will admit that the way you fight with them or how to use magic and jutsu is vastly different. He grew up with jutsu, so that's what he is most comfortable with. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean he slacked off and not trained in his magical abilities. He was just better and more efficient with jutsu than magic. He was able to master tracking, assassination, survival expert, hunting, poison making, archery, fuinjutsu, senjutsu, taijutsu, kenjutsu, ninjutsu, bojutsu, bukijutsu, genjutsu, irio ninjutsu, and blacksmith skills mastered to very high degree. His weakest or weaker subjects were genjutsu and etc. divine arts, demonic arts, and magic, even though he likes to think of himself better than a rookie. He also spent time with each bijou, training with them and mastering what they had to teach him. And training with the bijou was insane, seeing as he was facing beings so much bigger than him. But in reality he was just as powerful as Kurama, though that fox would never admit such a thing. But soon they too fade, leaving Naruto everything, including their power and knowledge. With Naruto being the new pseudo-Jubi, he had one goal left in mind. Moreover, while telling you everything would take up a lot of time, I rather leave you guessing and such. Time skip. In front of the village main gate, Naruto is looking at the village with both happy and painful memories. His life in the village wasn't all that great, but he made a stride to be the best he was. Now he is without a doubt the strongest shinobi within the elemental nations. He was given the title of Kami no Shinobi because of his vast strength and speed in battle. In addition, the fact he had spent 200 years of continuous training to improve and prepare for whatever challenges he might face. It took him so long to completely master whatever magic or spells that linked them to their old world. However, it felt like he was cheating, since he wasn't human and could faster than anyone else can. Hell, he could even fly at supersonic speeds and break the sound barrier. If he really pushes his abilities, he can travel faster than the speed of light. He would admit it, he was an adrenaline junkie. Nevertheless, he protected everyone he held dear and helped those whom have lost loved ones in the war. His kind and compassionate side always shined, though helped those in need. But that was his old life, and he needed to move on. The elemental nations has been booming with recent advancements in technology and science. He was no longer needed as peace. True peace has lasted for the past 200 years with him being a watchful guardian. But now it was time to move on and find the rift that brought his parents here in the first place. To find his family across the dimensional gap and somehow open it up so he may be able to find his grandparents. It sounded simple, but with experience the old shinobi knew it was anything but simple. Away from the village, tears fell from the tribe's face as he soared high above the clouds, out of sight. His emotions were in turmoil as he flew at a steady speed. Whipping the tears away, Naruto breathing started to slow as he took gulps of air to slow his racing heart. Calm down, Naruto, you can do this. You fought against a mindless Jubi and won. So leaving and finding my parents' family members won't be bad. If Kaa-chan and Otu-chan journals were right, then I won't have to be alone so much, Naruto thought as his tears dried up and a small smile went to his face. Besides, if I remember correctly, Tsunade-ba-chan said she would kick my ass if I became too depressed. I know she was only trying to cheer me up, but the thought of her coming back just to beat some sense into me frightens me more, Naruto chuckled to himself. Looking ahead as he flew, Naruto felt freedom, knowing the elemental nations would be fine without his watchful eye. He had fed the great-grandkids of his friends and surrogate family. He had taught compassion and understanding with Ninshu as it helped heal all the wounds the wars caused. Peace had reigned in the elemental nations. Of course, if there ever was a time they needed him. He had placed the summoning formula to bring him back to the elemental nations, no matter the distance or place he was in. They will always be able to summon him and request aid if they ever were in dire danger. But one thing worried the tri-breed about this whole journey. But this time he doesn't know what to expect. That doesn't add to the fact if he will be killed on sight because of what he is, or will he be tested on like the snake pedo did to the humans he experimented on at one of his many bases. There is also the risk factor of jumping from one reality to another he had to account for. Getting back into the world that his parents originally came from. In addition, hoping into one reality into from another is risky. Not to mention he could end up in a reality that is not his intended target of rip himself apart. So many risk, yet Naruto didn't really care. He made up his mind when he left to see the unknown and learn new things. But first he needed to find a weak point in this reality and use it to open a gateway to another reality. So to find this weak point, Naruto landed and folding his wings up and out of sight as his senses took over. Senjutsu chakra started to flow through his system and his sensor abilities were greatly heightened. After sensing a weak point, Naruto did something that he held much joy and pride over. He has 6 sets of wings, 2 each set, so 12 wings in total. Am I right here? The 2 first sets are golden white colors showing his angel side. In the middle 2 sets of black wings dark as night show his fallen angel side. And the bottom set and last 4 wings are pure black wings that look something akin to a bat showing his devil side. All 12 wings are outstretched proudly, showing Naruto is not ashamed of being all 3 of these races. Kneeling down, Naruto only flapped his wings once after jumping in the air to taking off at speed matching Mach 2. A sonic boom soon followed as Naruto raced through the air undisturbed by anything or anyone. He would be heading into Demon Country, where the reality for this world and another is weakest. Naruto's mind began to wander as he flew at subsonic speeds, enjoying the wind flowing through his wings as he flew high enough for people and maybe some shinobi to mistake him as a bird at first glance. Then again, the more experienced shinobi like the Kage will notice his chakra right away. But he wasn't worried about that. He is more worried about the world he is going to. Other than basic knowledge, Naruto had no idea what has changed or even if there was a time displacement between this world and the one he is trying to reach. Time may flow faster or slower depending on the reality he is going to or going to try. He has already done the impossible many times, so reality hopping, or more like dimension hopping, shouldn't be that hard, right? He has a feeling it isn't that simple. Something must between each reality to keep them from crashing into each other like a gap of some kind. Again, Naruto would develop a headache making up theories. He wasn't the brainy type, even though his IQ level was higher than Shikamaru's. He was more of the hands-on and getting shit done. Theories, being book smart, and people who plan stuff are more of Shikamaru, Sakura, and Tsunade and many others. While he didn't lack in this field, he preferred more direct approach. Along with basic knowledge of the world, Naruto was given basic knowledge of his devil, fallen angel, and angel power. Which was why he was able to practice in magic for the past 200 years. Give or take, he wasn't training in his other abilities. His devil's power is known as the power of destruction. To completely and utterly destroy anything that this power is used on. And as such he trained hard to use it like his other 2 powers. He has it down to summoning 10 balls of this energy compressed into a shape of his Rasengan. In fact, he made another variant called Rasengan of Extinction, which is the deadliest Rasengan variant right next to his Rasen Shuriken. Amazingly, the power of destruction will surround him in a dark crimson aura when he summons it, and his eyes turns crimson with black slits for a pupil. His fallen angel powers are a mutation of its own, meaning his fallen angel powers are not the same as his angel powers. For his fallen angel powers, it can be compared to the Raikage lightning armor, seeing it gives him advanced speed, strength, and amazing control over an element he calls Twilight Lightning. This power arcs off him with purple lightning arcing even so now and then. This also allows him to deal right-hand-like punches to his foes, which can either kill or badly maim his opponent. He can also flash around in a series of violet flashes, allowing him to use the time/space ninjutsu like it was going out of fashion. This type of power also gave birth to Naruto's Twilight Magic, which is a blend of his demonic magic and angelic magic. He hasn't been able to do much with it other than make a Twilight Spear, which is a basic technique really. His angel power he inherited from his father like he got the power of destruction from his mother. This angel's power is pure speed-based, allowing Naruto like his father to suddenly appear next to their nemesis. This is a light-based power, meaning as if his father Naruto can travel at the speed of light in the blink of an eye. That was one of many his father's special abilities as a seraph. He doesn't know the others, but he was only given basic knowledge of this. This power is sort of like Jintan but moving faster. Other than that, Naruto only was given basic knowledge of how to use these powers, including his magical abilities and/or spells he got to work on. He had to train and make up the rest as he went on traveling around the nations. He also gained many titles due to his status, among other things. While he had no use for titles, it was nice to travel to each and every village and learn from each village. And each village provided knowledge on a certain subject Naruto wanted to learn. He was able to learn Kenjutsu from the samurai, which led to him owning Isamu. He learned Jintan, Dust Release, from IWA, Lightning Armor from Kumo, and so on. Naruto's power, skill, and abilities exceeded anything that had came before. As the pseudo-Jubi, Naruto's power and/or chakra was basically unlimited and unending. Having prefect control over all that power and chakra took a toll on Naruto, as it took him 25 years to even use any of his jutsu he had learned. But this led to Naruto mostly relying on his other base abilities instead of his chakra or magic, which was really good for him, honestly. Blinking Naruto slowing down his speed and floats in the air, hovering looking at the sky. To anyone else nothing seems different. But for Naruto, he can sense a tear here. Taking a deep breath, Naruto starts to draw on all the nature chakra he can. Closing his eyes, Naruto channeled chakra into his eyes before opening them. His eyes were now in the image of a red sclerae and irides, with a ripple pattern spreading over the eyeball and 9 tomo in total. This was a side effect of being the pseudo-Jubi. Naruto had the Rinne Sharingan, a dojutsu that he had not fully mastered or even begin to scratch the surface of its power. This is so going to hurt me. Well into the unknown, Naruto thought as he started to open up the tear open as he gritted his teeth in the struggle to even try to get it open. Bring forth more of his power at a rapid pace, Naruto felt like nothing is happening before he was suddenly surrounded in darkness, then thrown into something that was not the elemental nations. Didn't think were his only thoughts before his eyes rolled into the back of his head and fell down into the unknown world. Unknown location. Groggy the tri-breed woke up to an unfamiliar bedroom. The sound of a mother, father, and son downstairs make noise was clear as day. In addition, it sounded like a lovely female voice was with them. Opening his heterochromia eyes, Naruto took in the bedroom surround him. He was in a B that much was clear, a boy's room that was basic, a desk, a formal bed, bookshelf, a small TV from what he can tell, and finally what looks like a couple of posters hanging on the wall. Healthy teen boy maybe? Well, he couldn't say anything. He was almost 218 yet looked like a teen. Sitting up, Naruto noticed the lack of his sash, sword, coat, but nothing else seemed to be missing. He still had his necklace Tsunade given him, which he was thankful no one stole. He would have to crack some skulls to get it back then. Leaning up, Naruto felt his body is a bit stiff, so to fix this problem Naruto stretched out his muscles to start moving again, which wasn't that hard. Looking at the desk again, he saw his coat on the chair along with his sash, and his sword is leaning against the wall. Wrapping it around his sash around his waist, Naruto then slid his sword into place. Then throw on his Hiyori coat. He doesn't have his sandals, so that means they must be in another location. Sighing, Naruto silently went toward the door. Before he could open the door, however, it was already opened for him by someone he thought was simple to cute to be human. The level of Mo was over 9,000. The girl is somewhere around 15 to 16 years of age, with long blonde hair and green eyes. Her hair flows all the way down to her back, with split bangs over her forehead and a single strand sticking out from the top, sloping backwards. Her main attire consists of a dark teal with light blue accents, a white veil over her head with light blue accents, a brown satchel slung on her right hip, and brown boots with black straps in an X-shaped pattern. Her face screams Mo and a level of cuteness the young tri-breed didn't even know existed. Naruto blinked as the cute girl nervously looked at him. Asia Argento could believe what she was looking at. He was handsome, his eyes completely different colors. His right eye looked like an endless deep ocean of sapphire blue that did not have a pupil in the center. His left eye looked like a shine purple amethyst gemstone that glistened with warmth and love. Both eyes held strength, love, compassion, and in a deep profound emotion she could fathom. His face was angled and held no baby fat. On his cheeks are 3 whisker-like markings that made him seem very cute and added to his overall look. His body was lean and that of a runner or swimmer. His clothing did very little to hide his body except for his coat, which made him look cool. His hair got her curious about why it was both sun-kissed blonde and the same shade of crimson her king has. He was taller than her, that much is for sure. However, why did he emit this aura of warmth and kindness that drawn her to him? She started blushing when she notices her gaze lingered too long. "Hello, I am Naruto." "Whom might you be?" Naruto said, simple with a trademark smile. To the young blonde he reminded her of a fox. "Asia Argento." "Nice to meet you, Naruto-san," Asia said nervously. She didn't know why, but she felt like he was power and even held her life in his hand enough, though Issei and her king are downstairs. "Ano. Where might I be, Asia-san?" Naruto spoke as he felt a tinge of annoyance at using honorifics. He didn't like them, never did, and most likely never will. And the girl didn't seem to notice the slight annoyed tone in his voice when he said "san." "Ah. Where are Issei's house?" Isa spoke with a bright warm smile, complete forgetting the tension that was before. Naruto blinked at the girl, trying to figure out some things. From her tone and the warmth it carried, he would have to guess this Issei person is her friend. "This Issei is your friend, correct?" Naruto asked calmly. He was in an unknown world with people he did not know. Nevertheless, not that he focuses on it. This girl didn't feel human, that much is for sure. He knew what humans felt like and how their life force differed from his own. Expanding his senses, he was able to pick up 2 humans and 2 people who felt like this girl, though one of them were lineages ahead of them in terms of power. It felt somewhat similar to his own power of destruction. Soon Naruto's eye twitched, though the girl did not take note of it. If Murphy had anything to do with this, I am shoving a Rasengan so far up his ass. The small cute girl interrupted Naruto's thoughts. "Ano, do you want to come downstairs and meet everyone?" Asia asked. Naruto blinked but nodded. Sooner followed the girl downstairs to the other 2 devils he could guess. But he was more curious about this other power signature and why it was similar to his own. Only one way to find out. Naruto's profile. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Real name, Naruto Gremory Namikaze Uzumaki. Age, 217, looks 17 to 18. Race, tri-breed, devil/fallen/angel. Rank, sage, current, jonin, and exumbu. Element releases, wind, lightning, fire, water, earth, yin, yang, and yin-yang. Sub-elements, wood, ice, swift, crystal, storm, dust, lava, magnet, shade, boil, steam, blaze, explosion, scorch, and steel. Isolated elements, all. Kekkei Genkai/Kekkei Tota, Horobai no Chikara, Rinne Sharingan, Rinnegan, Sharingan, EMS, Byakugan, Tensigan, Mokuton, Hayaton, Futon, Yoton, Ranton, Jinton, Dust Release, Bakuton, Shikuten, Jiton, Shoton, Koton, Jinton, Swift Release, Meiton, and Shikatsumiyaku. Skills, Divine Arts, Demonic Arts, Magic, Tracking, Assassination, survival expert, hunting, poison making, archery, fuinjutsu, senjutsu, taijutsu, kenjutsu, kinjutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu, bojutsu, bukijutsu, genjutsu, Iryo ninjutsu, blacksmith, and etc. Threat level, SSS class. Relationships, Kushina Uzumaki aka Kushina Gremory, mother/deceased, Minato Namikaze Akamino, father/deceased, Michael, uncle, Azazel, uncle, Sertsig Gremory, uncle, Rias Gremory, aunt, Gabriel, aunt, Lady Gremory, grandmother, Lord Gremory, grandfather, Millikas Gremory, cousin. Unique powers/abilities, deity physiology, transcendent fallen angel physiology, transcendent angel physiology, transcendent devil physiology, divinity, divine demonic physiology, omega physiology, alpha physiology, ultipotence/complete arsenal, nigh omnipotence, almighty ascension, almighty link, complete arsenal, meta power manipulation, meta ability creation, primordial force manipulation, primordial light manipulation, primordial darkness manipulation, divine force manipulation/demonic force manipulation, absolute condition, absolute adaptation, absolute athleticism, absolute attack, absolute charisma, ultimate fighter, absolute defense, absolute immortality, absolute immunity, absolute intelligence, absolute invulnerability/flawless indestructibility/ultimate invincibility, absolute leap, omniperception, meta-regeneration, omnisenses, absolute speed, absolute stamina, absolute strength, all physical/mental enhancements on an absolute level, immutability, indomitable will, infinite life energy, self-sustenance, zenith, hypercompetence, absolute psionic power, omnikinesis, telekinesis, psionic manipulation, absolute force manipulation, omnislayer, omni-elemental manipulation, omni-energy manipulation, esoteric force manipulation, chaotic form/divine presence, creation, destruction, omni-magic, meta-magic, ethereal manipulation, omnicompetence, universe manipulation, dimensional manipulation, space-time manipulation, flight/wing manifestation, intangibility, empathy, smite, superpower manipulation, meta-teleportation, chakra regeneration, chakra chains, and sensor. Weapons. Alessio, originally belonging to his late father Minato aka Mino, Naruto took up this holy weapon as a memento to his deceased father as well as a vow to never harm an innocent soul as long as he lived. Alessio has an odd and unknown past despite being made from the biblical god's bone and his blood. A holy weapon of immense power surpassed all other holy weapons the angels were ever given. Only those whom are directly blood-related to Yahweh could ever hope to wield this weapon, let alone touch it. Alessio takes the form of a sleek yet amazingly beautiful Mirkwood double-bladed polearm. Beneheim is the memento of his late mother Kushina. Naruto has trained in the art of kenjutsu for more than a century, using both shinobi and samurai sword techniques in conjunction with his power of destruction. Naruto is able to use Beneheim to its full power much like his late mother once did. Beneheim takes the form of a long yet sleek-looking Shiraseiya Okatana. Isamu, Naruto's personal sword he had fashioned thanks to the land of iron and some of the best blacksmiths in the elemental nations. Forged with high-carbon steel, chakra metal, and a few other raw but strong metals. Reinforced with seals, this sword could be the strongest and most complex sword ever made. Naruto's Isamu takes the form of a sleek-looking reverse blade sword. Chapter 2, I Hate Dimension Hopping. A haze, everything was a haze when he started to walk down the stair with that Asia girl that faded away like a chalk outline being washed away with rain, and the sounds have become distorted, making them hard to make out. His vision in the dream became blurry, and everything spun around him like a spintop sitting atop a table spinning rapidly. He felt sick and beaten, but not out and broken. He had worse from the villagers, and no doubt he can survive this. The dream or vision wasn't real. None of the sound, sights, or anything was real. It wasn't real, it was a dream, a vivid dream, too real to be a normal dream. Could have been a vision of her? Did she need his help? Naruto didn't know. Naruto did know one thing: he hates now traveling through different realities. The blur between world caused aches, pains, and internal damage. If it wasn't for his healing factor and him having Uzumaki blood flowing through his veins, he would most likely be dead. Alone, in the woods, bleeding somewhat heavily. He stumbled out of the small crater he made in his landing. Spitting out a little blood, he gets up on his feet and dusts himself off. Nothing like a crash landing, Naruto thought dryly, and he stumbled into the woods. His wounds are already starting to heal. He would need some rest to fully recover. Lucky he landed in a woodland area so he can draw in nature chakra to dull the pain. Opening the rift or tear between this reality and his home reality took more out of him than he thought. His chakra is dangerously low and he is too weak to defend himself. Now that he thinks about it, drawing in nature chakra won't be a good idea when he is this weak. He might kill himself. His injuries are limited, some internal bleeding, cracked ribs, a fractured leg, and his wings thankfully are okay. He was able to slow his descent enough to not kill himself. Though it will be a while before he is able to move right or even fly. So far he is grounded, which the irony is not lost to him. Thankfully, before he left the village, Naruto packed his weapons, items, scrolls, or anything he might need. Basically, he brought everything in case he would be staying longer than intended. Which looks like he won't be able to go back for some time. Some of his chakra coils are damaged. Not too badly, but badly enough to make him not use jutsu for a while. His coils will heal like always thanks to the fragments of Kurama chakra, which rapidly heals any massive of life-threatening damages. Naruto pats himself down and checks the damage fully. Let's see, damaged chakra coils, but not too bad. My chakra coils are heavy strained, but nothing a couple of days rest won't fix. My internal bleeding is healing already. My bones are mending and will be fine within the hour. My wings, like my coils, are strained and will take time to heal. No more than a week, hopefully. I should find some food and a place to rest. But first I need to find out where in the bloody hell am I? Naruto thought as he slowly calmed down. His heartbeat was a thumping sound and now was slowing down. Dropping from a 1,000 feet at untold speeds didn't do him that well. He might have lost some years on his life during the hopping. Kami, if he had to go though that again, he might as well risk death. No doubt if Tsunade heard about this, she would be flipping her shit and yelling at him for doing something this stupid. No doubt Anko would threaten him with torture if he got hurt like this again. Tintin would use him as target practice. Temari will most like hit him with her fan. Mei might try to cook him with her lava. And who knows what the other girls will do for him, making them worry. Naruto then stopped and cursed himself. He was already good as dead when Tintin tells the others. Dread washed over him like a wave of despair. He was going to need a lot of making up to do. Maybe take them out on a date? That won't do at all. Sighing in disappointment, Naruto made his way over to some trees and leaned against one with bushes all around it, remembering a survival lesson Irika taught him. Flashback: no jutsu. Listening, Naruto, there will be a time where you will be badly hurt and will need to hide while you recover, Irika explained to a hyper 8-year-old boy with a big foxy smile on his face. But Irika-sensei, I will be too awesome to be hurt that badly, Naruto pouted. He hated survival lessons. They reminded him of the annual fox hunts the villagers play unless Irika, Tsum, or some other cool ninja like that nice person with the dog mask or the Nico mask are around him. Irika pats Naruto on the head with affection. I know, Naruto. But promise me you will listen to what I have to say. Sometimes the most basic things will save your life, Irika said sagely. Naruto nodded with a bright smile. They proceed to teach Naruto about surviving in the wild and in poor health. Naruto is a natural when it came to survival and being genius ideas on the fly. The student and teach continued into the night. Flashback Jutsu Kai. Hee good ol Irika-sensei Naruto thought as he is partial hides by the bushes. Closing his eyes slowly, Naruto drifted off to sleep as his wounds recover. As he fell into a deep sleep, several forest animals went near Naruto, sensing his own connection to nature itself. Several of these animals are small, like some birds, rabbits, geckos, a couple of bats, and several other animals that stood guard as the mixed hair sage recovered from his injuries. A couple of wild dogs came and lay down at the young man's side, guarding him from any would-be attackers. The really cool part is they are Alaskan Husky. One is all black and the other is pure white. As the sun descended and the stars twinkled brilliantly in the night sky, the little clearing when the hero landed is peaceful and calm. For now. Daytime, sun rays. An odd set of eyes fluttered open as Naruto woken up, feeling the warmth of two different bodies against his. In a lazy daze, Naruto looked at the dogs and noticed they were snuggled up against him in a peaceful slumber. Rubbing his eyes and yawned, the tri-breed began his morning rituals, such as cleaning himself up and checking on his wounds. His wounds have healed overnight, but his chakra core is still healing, meaning no ninjutsu, powers, or anything that relies on his chakra. He would be stuck with kenjutsu and taijutsu in the meantime. Not that he minded either art, seeing he is very skilled in those two arts. Looking around, Naruto notices a few things are out of place on his person. For once is his reverse blade sword he had gotten from an ANBU friend. Another thing is that his seals on his body are off limits until he can use his chakra safely without damaging his cords farther. Which means most, if not all, his things are out of reach. So he only has 2 curved kunai, 10 shuriken, 30 feet of ninja wire, and his reverse blade sword. If he can find the damn thing. He very much doubts it's in one piece right now. It was made out of strong metals, but nothing like chakra metal, which is his world's strongest metal. But oh, use of groaning over it. Sighing, Naruto slowly got up. He did wake the dogs up, but they were already stirring away. At least they remind him of the pair Kiba and Akumaru. Those two are great allies and their teamwork is amazing. Naruto often asked Kiba if he could have a partner like the Akumaru. But Kiba only brushed him off, saying only if you join the clan, to which then Naruto was clueless of how to join the said clan. He would have to marry Tsum or Hana, but he doubts either liked him in such a way. Looking around in the clearing, Naruto wondered if he was alone so he could spread his wings out a bit. He wasn't ashamed of having these wings. The fallen angel ones were given to him by his father and the devil ones by his mother. The golden white ones he gained on his own, to which he has no idea how he got angel wings. Unless they weren't angel wings. Wait. Wouldn't opening a tear in reality act like some kind of beacon to attract all sorts of attention? And if it would, then why isn't he surrounded by the human government or other factions? He knew he had basic knowledge of the earth. But it's been nearly 20 to 40 years since his parents disappeared from this reality. But really, shouldn't there be like angels or something being sent to see what happened? Naruto knows when he stumbled into one of those pedos bases his minions come out of the fucking woodworks. No, literally, they were coming out of the damn cracks in the walls like some fucked up horror movie. He somehow blew that place up, but then again it was when he sealed. Since his unsealing, everything felt better and made sense. After meeting his parent and them unlocking his true heritage, he was able to think clearer and calm down some, or had enough control over himself to train easier. Instead of his thoughts racing 1,000 miles per hour, his thoughts and thinking process became clearer. Naruto stopped in his musing to hear something coming from the distance. Though Naruto didn't know what it was. He ignored it in favor of finding his sword. Walking through the woods in search of his blade, Naruto knows he is being followed by those 2 dogs. Those he didn't know what breed they were, he did know they looked like Akumaru in some sense, so they must be half-wolf or something similar. Not that he minded the animals, he loved animals just as much as he loved nature. After becoming a sage, Naruto never felt bothered by nature. Even the small bug that could kill a normal human felt like they were his friends. Becoming once with nature is one of the best things to happen in his life. He never really felt more complete. It's kinda like when you find something that makes you feel really good, or like you've been craving a certain food and haven't found it, but when you do, it's like you melted and slip into a bliss-like state where you feel at peace or an ease-like feeling. But that could just be his interpretation of the feeling of being connected to nature. In his musing, Naruto failed to notice the three figures following him form the sky. Sighing, Naruto stopped in his search looking for his sword. It could be anywhere, and it's not like he has a time limit. Plus it has a chakra seal on the blade that will summon the blade back to him. He'd rather not use the seal now, but later. He could also risk opening his wings and flying, but he'd rather not get spotted by the local populace. Since he had no knowledge of this world that is up to date, he would have to wander around till he finds a town. He would look for a town, but something called to him that was more important. Growl. Blinking, Naruto blushes and smiles sheepishly. I forgot to eat when I woken up. Might as well set a TR. Naruto thoughts halt when the black and white dog that have followed him brought 2 rabbits each in their mouths. Odd, when did they sneak away and able to find some food? Naruto smiles warmly at the dogs and pets them in an affectionate way. Thank you. Now if only I knew your names, Naruto said more to himself than anyone else. Naruto watched the dogs bark, but instead of hearing a barking-ish sounds, Naruto hears words. Human-like words that made him blink many times while also mentally going over what he heard. It wasn't clear, but it was there. The words were there, he just couldn't place them. What was Naruto's only intelligent answer? Naruto watched the dogs bark again, but the words were clearer and sounded like, "My name is Sky," said the white one, and the other dog that was all black said Shade. Naruto blinked once and twice. I can understand you, Naruto said, disbelieving what he is hearing. Not in all his years did he see this happening. Of course. You're a sage. We all can tell. Spoke Sky in a feminine tone. So Sky is a female. Wait, why didn't he notice that before? Was he not that worried? May he can skip this for later. Yes, Sage-sama, it's been an untold amount of centuries since the last true sage died. Our mother told stories of sages and how they kept everything in harmony before the gods came. Shade spoke. While the two spoke about long times past and several other things, Naruto stopped them. First question, what are you two? I know you have names, but no dog or wolf I know speaks human tongue, Naruto says. Well, that was a lie. Sun's partner can speak human tongue, but Naruto still doesn't know how he was able to accomplish that. Simple, we are spirits. More accurately, spirit of nature, kind like the fairies of nature, but we took an animal for a form. Sky spoke as it's the simplest thing in the world. Naruto raised an eyebrow and looked at Shade for some kind of clarity. The simplest way to put it is we are physical forms of a spirit or energy of nature. In essence, we do not age normally. We can live up to 1,000 years or so. But me and Sky are only 200 years old or around there. We felt you rip a rift from the dimensional gap and fell. We spent all night trying to help you recover. Shade spoke in a lazy fashion. But he had his eyes, which are golden amber color, trained on Naruto the whole time he spoke. Naruto on his part is now comparing these two spirits to Biju, but they clearly are much different from the Biju. Also, he had several questions popping into his head. I see. You don't mind me asking a couple of questions, do you? Naruto asked them both. No, we do not mind, Sage-sama. Shade spoke with some profession in his voice. Naruto just ignored the Sage-sama since he had similar titles back home which he never cared for. First off, can you tell me about the basics of this world? Anything and everything you might think is important, Naruto asked/said. He felt like he was still walk around blind. And without info he could be making a fatal mistake. Even the little detail for a shinobi can mean life and death for them. Of course, Sky spoke softly. First off, we will start with the factions and the supernatural. Seeing we can tell you're not normal, Sky spoke honestly. Naruto nodded as he looked at Sky. He guessed sensing energies is one of the perks of being a spirit. But it seems she is trying to figure what he will be hard, seeing as all three of his different energies are 100% in sync with each other. First are the factions. Each faction contains a leader. The biggest of the factions are the three factions known as the Devil Faction, Biblical Faction, and the Fallen Angels, or their more professional name Gregory. The Devil Faction contains four leaders known as Mao. The angels have the biblical god and archangels, and the fallen angels are made of the angels whom were cast out of heaven. Their leader was a former archangel, but he fell due to impure thoughts. Then there are the minor factions and varying others that control an area or govern over a certain race. Though you will have to find out the rest on your own, seeing as we do not have all the information you seek. Your best bet is to go to Tokyo, but be wary of that place. It's controlled behind the scenes by a powerful yokai and is protected by any of her followers. Shade spoke, giving Naruto a brief summary of what goes on in this world. You must also be aware normal humans have no knowledge of the supernatural, so in any event you must keep what you are secret. Sky spoke in a light warning tone. Naruto nodded at this information. It seems like he has to keep to himself most of the time. In any event, it shouldn't be that hard. One more thing. Is there any family or anything going by the name of Gremory? Naruto asked in curiosity. To none of his surprise, the two wolves nod after looking at each other. Yes, there is one in the human world. She is Rias Gremory, heiress of the Gremory clan. She resides in Kuo City. Sky spoke, looking at the boy in a curious way. Though it was only a tilt of the head for Naruto. Thanks. Anything else I should know about? Naruto asked with a light smile. Yes. Don't let the nymphs know your sage. Shade spoke wisely, whom only got a raised eyebrow from the tri-breed. Oh, before I forget. Did you guy happen to find a sword with the sharpened blade on the wrong side? Naruto asks. The two nod and Naruto grins widely. After a few hours of talking and leaving, Naruto is walking down a street to Tokyo. Naruto thinks about all the information Naruto was able to gain from the two spirits. Apparently, Naruto is heading towards an area filled with yokai that can use chakra, but none like he can from what he learned. At his side is his reverse blade sword slipped in between his hip and his crimson silk sash. Lucky for him, his sword is not damaged in any way, shape, or form, which is awesome for him, cause he would hate for his Umbu friend to find out his gift was destroyed in one of his crazy adventures. He is still wearing his clothing when he left the village, but it's fresh and brand new look. The two spirits were kind enough to heal some of Naruto's still recovering injuries, which meant his chakra coils are nearly fully healed now. Give or take a few hours, he will be able to sneak into this world and hopefully not draw attention. Though Naruto may not look like it, he knew what he was doing. Shortly after the war, and to train his body, he went into ANBU and trained with some of the best ninja in the village, but it was also to hide and train in plain sight as he continued to do missions. Doing what he is doing now is no problem. First thing is first, he needs to set up an ID, find a way to gain some money, and all the basics. But this doesn't include him going to Kuo City, where his aunt he believes resides. Though the spirits didn't know much, Naruto knows now more than he did a while ago. And in the short decades his parents disappear, humans' technology can advance greatly, even more so than his home world. Though he doubts his world will ever need the technology these humans do. They have chakra, so guns and other weapons will only slow them down. Besides, some shinobi can fire off kunai faster than a gun can shoot. How they did these no one knew. Plus ninja and the daimyo enjoy the world they have now. Plus from what Naruto has seen, his world take much better care of nature than the humans or beings in this world. So Naruto doubts he will journey back to his world with the technology of this one. Naruto only slightly paused in his walking to feel he is being followed from the air. They felt like his fallen angel energy. Tainted, but they still had a light element to it. Naruto, however, kept walking. He could lose them soon enough unless they made a move. He, however, didn't suspect for them to break off so soon. Inwardly, he was glad he had chakra locks on and suppressing his power to civilian level to not draw attention. Let's hope this all goes smoothly, Naruto thought in slight dismay. He knew Murphy's Law will fuck with him soon. He doesn't know when, but it will happen. And hoping to some deity, Naruto knocked on wood to not jinx himself. He walking brought him into a crowd city filled with sights, smells, and a few interesting things that caught his eye. He wasn't the only thing looking. Several women young and no older than 50 were looking at the young tri-breed with intense blushes and lust in their eyes. Some yokai in hiding that were among the crowd looked at the heterochromia male with an awe that they were looking at a deity with divine looks and a handsome face. A certain kitsune, vampire, succubus, yukiana, and which were looking at Naruto with their own blushes and inappropriate thoughts running through their minds. END, cut, and done. Chapter 3, Meeting My Hot Aunt. Naruto Uzumaki, a sage, hero, and all-around badass, is looking up at the night sky though he apartment window within the limits of Tokyo City, though he was on the outer side of the city, which is very close to the woods of a park. It's been nearly a full month since he settled into this world and meets some interesting people. Most, if not all, are female, which did not help his current love life, which at this point might as well be thrown into a black hole, seeing he has no love life here or back home. Not that it was a lack of trying, but he just didn't want to stay young while his loved ones died of old age. If anything the shinobi life has taught after the war, all the bloodshed, tears, pain, and fighting. It has taught him to love and cherish life and be happy, but also hold on to those moments, because those moments with your loved ones don't last. But him being an immortal tri-breed kinda puts a dent in things. If he could find a way to make them similar to him, he would do so, but only if there are no risks involved. Shaking his head, Naruto tapped on the screen of his cell phone to check the time. It was only 11:49 right now. Since moving into this world, Naruto had a series of tasks ahead of him in order to survive in this world. Money, information, a place to stay, how the world is governed, the technologies, the races, factions, humans, and supernatural proved for the young heir to be a challenge and difficult to learn without help. But Naruto had managed thanks to the Kage Bunshin and some people in the yokai faction who knew a thing or two about setting up a false ID without the government or anything attracting attention. He first had to recover from his trip of opening the rift, to which he can do without much a problem. Next was some money and a place to stay. So to find some easy money, Naruto went into many local casinos and cleaned out a total of 100 million ryo and was able to afford a decent motel room where he proceeded to move his plan forward. But like any good shinobi, he needed to blend in, and him wearing his shinobi outfit wouldn't help. So Naruto went shopping and got himself some simple clothing. Black jeans, black leather boots that came up to his calf muscle, shirts that were all buttoned up white and dark red, plus a trench coat with a hood to keep some of his non-normal hair hidden. It seems this world doesn't have people whom can have to different shades of color in their hair, like Naruto has sun-kissed golden blonde with dark crimson red highlights. His multiple color eyes caught the eyes of some model companies, which was odd for the young tri-breed, but he needed to blend in and not stand out. Though it is Naruto we are talking about here. Even when he tried to blend in, he still stood out from everyone else. He did try some modeling clothing and took a few shots, but luckily for him he was paid in cash and not any cards or anything. Which he needed to fix. He needed an identity for this world. So after finding a building solely meant for the supernatural, only Naruto was able to set up an ID, bank account, and other basic information without questions or anything. Tokyo was truly a great place for a shinobi like him, though he did feel many eyes upon him during this whole process. He had run into Issei, however, but he had to go off his appearance, which is 17, and not his real age, which he is almost 30. Immortality is kind of funny like that. After his chakra coils finished healing, he sent several Henge Kage Bunshin to the library to gain knowledge and understand the world around him. After what felt like a week, Naruto had college-level knowledge in math, science, languages, art, and several other subjects. But at the cost many ungodly, like headaches, pains, and cursing like a sailor. He said it once and he will say it 1,000 more times. He loved the fuck out of Kage Bunshin, but studying was a bitch and he hated it with a passion still. For a more steady stream of income, Naruto set up for selling his books and his Godfather books, which sold off like a crackhead, finding a dealer with great prices. His books sold, and now he raked in more than 1 million ryo within 2 weeks. He lost count of how much money he had now, but his devil's luck is shining though. And the irony of his devil's luck was not lost to him. He was sure that everything he did would draw attention. But so far no one, not even the supernatural being that called this city home, batted him an eye. They were all content living their lives, which to Naruto is thankful for. But he was a ninja, and being paranoid comes with the territory. But then again, he did run into some interesting characters along his little month journey that weren't human, that did ask questions, but nothing to detail wanting. So he made sure to ignore everything until he was ready to move to Kuo Academy, which will be starting in the 2nd month of a new school year at the new co-ed school. He applied and was accepted quickly, which set off alarm bells in his head at the swift response. He would have to be on his guard. As far as he was able to gather, Kuo City was under his aunt's control and in Gremory territory. Not that he was nervous or anything. It's just he had a family in this world and none of them knew he was related to them. The concept of family was also foreign to him, seeing as he grew up alone and hated by his village till later. So yes, the feeling of having a family, albeit one doesn't even know he is alive, feels alien and strange. And while happy he does have a family, he is worried they will accept him. Suppose with time this feeling will wash away. But he was more worried about them accepting him. He very much doubts there has ever been a tribreed in this world, and it's highly unlikely that it's even possible for him to even exist. He was what a devil and fallen angel soon as he was born, but that was without his knowledge till later. The golden white angel-like wings he very much doubts are really wings of the angels in this world. So he doubts he is 1/3 angel, but without any proof and a lack of understanding of why he has 2 sets of wings that are golden white. He has nothing to go on other than what his father was before he fell. Naruto wanted to snort at that. His father may have his faults, but he was not like what he has heard about the other fallen. As far as Naruto knew, his father should have stayed an angel. But still he had a feeling his golden white wings are not normal and there is something to them that is not an angel. But he would have to figure that out later, seeing it's not a priority. His first take is to get his stuff ready for tomorrow to move to Kuo and such. There is the whole thing of meeting his aunt, who might or might not his age. Seeing she is his physical age, he can guess she is younger than him. Leaving him to guess, his parents disappeared sometime around 25 to 65 years ago, but that is just a guess. Naruto has no real clue of when they went missing in this world. He was always so trying to find out a way to contact his uncles. The easiest one to get into contact with would be the uncle on his mother's side, though his aunt, whom is his mother's sister. He does know about heaven and the underworld, but as to get to those places he had no clue, so he was stuck in the human world until he figured out how to travel into the underworld or heaven. His uncle would be the easiest, and maybe from there he can find a way to contact his other 2 uncles. Speaking of which, what was his name? Sirzek Gremory? Is that right? From what he heard, his uncle was the leader of the devils along with 3 others, but their names are unknown to the tri-breed. He only has letter for Surzek, Michael, Gabriel, and Azazel. Sure, there were other letters, but these letters are more important. Why and who they are as a person is unknown, but what he did know that Michael is leader of the angels along with their biblical god. Then there was Azazel, who was the general governor of the fallen angels. Surzek is the leader of the devils along with the other Mao. It seems all his family members are in seats of power, which does nothing for Naruto if they think his parents are dead or missing. Blinking, Naruto hears someone knock at the door. Guests? Naruto thought in confusing fashion. He hasn't drawn any attention other than win big at casinos. And even then he doubts that the owners of the said building will do anything to announce they are now empty on cash. Narrowing his eyes, Naruto focused his senses on who is behind the door. There are a total of 4 women, none of them are human. All the people in the apartments are sleeping or not active tonight. Tensing up his muscles, Naruto strove to the doors and looking through the peephole to notice a hand of something blocking it. Summoning a blade of destruction, Naruto let the demonic power take shape of a simple sword with 2 edges with a dark crimson aura around it, giving out the impression that the sword is radiating power. Slowly opening the door, Naruto blinks as he sees no one is standing there. He looks at the peephole and sees a note attached to it. Raising an eyebrow, Naruto dismisses his blade of destruction and takes the letter into his hand, opening it up so he could read the contents inside. We will be watching Naruto and Naruto read and barely controlled the shudder that went through his body. The ink is red. There is a kiss imprint on the letter, meaning the woman or women kissed his letter. And seeing it, there is blue, red, purple, and pink lipstick kiss imprint on the letter. He was going for a group of females. Naruto can only think of one thing and shivers. Fangirls was the thought, and Naruto quickly went inside and burned the note. He would sleep under his bed tonight before morning. No way in hell was he risking the chance of being kidnapped in a good bed. Not after what happened during the events that took place a month later of the 4th Shinobi World. Morning. It's 10 a.m. and the birds are chirping as people went about their day, laughing, talking about something, and everyday things about work to who someone is dating. In his temporary apartment stand a 6'2" tall male. Sun-kissed golden blonde hair with crimson red highlights. 2 bangs frame his face like his father before him. His right eye an ever deep sapphire blue that lack a pupil made it seem endless like an ocean. His left eye a deep amethyst color without a pupil as well that made people feel like their soul is being stared into. Around his neck are 3 necklaces he got from very precious people in his life. There is the one he always wore, he gotten from Tsunade after he won it in a bet with her. Also to remind him of the elderly woman he loved regardless of age. The next one is a locket with a crimson rose and the Gremory seal around it. This locket was a very special item of his late mother had before her death. This will serve as farther proof to his aunt of his family that he is whom he claims to be. The last one is a golden feather attached to a leather cord. This one is a necklace set that forms into a wing. Naruto's father had one of 4 golden feathers. Now he had the golden feather to show his other aunt and uncle he is who he claims to be. Naruto is currently wearing black jeans that hang somewhat loosely around his waist. His mesh armor for an undershirt, a white button-up shirt that clings to his slender athletic form. He is also wearing a black trench coat that stops at his knees and has a hood to hide some of his face if he wishes not to be seen. For footwear, the tri-breed is wearing combat boots that come up to his lower calf and give him a familiar feeling of being back in ANBU. He misses his Nico-chan. Naruto checked the few ninjutsu seals on his person to see if everything from his world is in check, which thankfully it is. Naruto just finished packing his stuff, meaning his new clothing and other items, in a suitcase made to pack your stuff away. Truly, Naruto could just make a ceiling scroll, but since some of his neighbors knew he was leaving, he decided to no play with the risk of explaining why he had a bunch of scrolls with him. He had 2 suitcases each for shirts, jeans, and other items he picked up along the way. A total of 5 suitcases laid at Naruto's feet. Looking around his empty apartment, Naruto was glad this was just a temporary setting. His more permanent home will be in Kuo, and hopefully to meet his aunt. Naruto checks if he has his cell, wallet, and his mother's and father's necklace. Naruto went to the counter and grabbed his car keys and started to take his things to his car. Naruto found the joys of owning a car, and to be honest, he has a sweet car. Naruto's car is a 1968 Ford Mustang Cobra with a crimson color and polish and had a sleek inside leather interior. Naruto only got this car for 2 reasons. 1, it's badass to him. 2, it goes fast. And Naruto will not be ashamed to say he was an adrenaline junkie. There are no roller coasters in the Elemental Nation, so they had to do something else to fill the boredom. For Naruto, it was fighting the tigers in the forest of death without killing them with nothing but his bare hands to wrestle them down. After packing up his stuff, Naruto got in the driver's seat and turned on the car to hear roar to life. Smiling, Naruto left the apartment behind and driving to Kuo City at a cruising speed. New home and next day. Naruto yawns and stretches to pop out the kinks in his joints. It's been a full day since he moved into his small mansion house. Needless to say, he was impressed with the home. It given that nice homey feel, lots of room, and most important of all, it given Naruto a base of operations so he can live in this world as long as he needed to, though he doesn't plan to stay long. Last thing he needed was to return to his home world and meet a bunch of angry women at his door. That and seeing a raging Tsunade coming at him with a raised fist. He won't outlast her wrath if she really lets loose. Sighing, Naruto got up and went through his early routine of waking up, showering, brushing his teeth, eating breakfast, get dressed in some sweatpants and a simple black shirt with the Uzumaki swirl on the front, and watch the news or just listen to some music. Naruto's new home is a house nearly the size of a small mansion. It has 3 floors and a large basement that Naruto will most likely convert to a training area. Though the first floor is interesting. On the first floor is a gaming room, library, a study, office, a living room, a kitchen, and finally a dining room. On the second floor is a series of rooms and bathrooms, most likely for guests who wish to stay. The third floor holds 5 large bedrooms and the single master bedroom, which Naruto stays in the master bedroom. In the living room, Naruto is sitting down eating breakfast that is toast, eggs, bacon, orange juice, and finally some cereal that he enjoys. He would have ramen, but Tsunade wouldn't have Naruto eating unhealthy, to which it was either no ramen in the village at all or he eats more healthy. He quickly chosen the latter to save the gift from Kami. As he ate his breakfast, music which Naruto turned on played some relaxing jazz music, filling the house with the calming, soothing music. Looking at the clock, Naruto noticed he has an hour before school starts, to which he is slightly excited and nervous about meeting his aunt. He oddly ponders how many supernatural beings will confuse him with his father, seeing as that happens a lot back at his home realm. Well, they started to after he grew out his hair to his upper back, but since he hardly ties it in a ponytail, he just lets it flow freely. Shrugging, Naruto got up and went to get his uniform. It seems the Kuo Academy boys' uniforms consists of a black blazer with white accents over a white, long-sleeved button-down shirt with vertical linings, a black ribbon on the collar, matching black pants, and brown dress shoes. And while Naruto is slightly bothered by the new shoes and everything, he decided to mix up the uniform by leaving the black blazer open to show the undershirt he was wearing, which is a plain black shirt with the number 9 placed on the upper part of his shirt. A memento from Kurama when he last saw the fox. Checking everything over, Naruto went to his room and grabbed his keys, wallet, cell. He put on all 3 necklaces and suppressed his power to a minimum or as much as he could. Seeing his chakra level is around Kurama or Akpop's level, which makes it hard for him to sneak around, seeing as his chakra is like a bright sun that the flames flick wildly like a raging inferno that can't be tamed, or an unrelenting maelstrom that is nigh unstoppable. Or you could just call it AF6 tornado or higher. Honestly, shouldn't his power level of his chakra make some heads turn? Soon as he got here, no one nor anything batted him an eye. But it could be he landed near Tokyo, where there is a massive power there which could have helped mask his appearance, but that is just a theory. As paranoid that may sound, Naruto didn't open his wings to show anyone what he is. From what he learned, the three factions each family member is on are all ceased firing enemies. So he has to tread carefully not to disturb the natural order of this world. That and avoid his family enemies in this world, cause he very much doubts his father and mother had a lot friends outside their own race. But again, that is just a guess. Sighing, Naruto got his stuff together and went to his car in order to make it to school. Kuo Academy. The air is crisp and clean at Kuo Academy. Students fill into the school to start early morning clubs or hang out with their friends before the bell rings to signal class has begun. Kuo Academy is a two-story building richly designed with a Western theme with Old English designs into the building stone. The front courtyard is wheeled and holds within it bounties the soccer field, baseball field, and many other outdoor sports located around the school. The school itself looks well maintained with its navy blue dark tiles, its dark pale red bricks, and the glass is aligned to make the whole building look like one piece of art. Anyone who is seeing the school the first time will be in a slight awe at the craftsmanship level of the school. Sorry for such a suck description, but really you can Google an image of the damn thing. I tried my best TTTT. As the students became more and more showing as school hour are drawing to a close, many of the student body stopped to hear a loud engine coming into the parking lot. What they all saw is a crimson-red 1968 Ford Mustang Cobra that looked sleek and well-made. Everyone started whispering and rumors start to already form. Was it a student or a new teacher? Whoever it was had to have a lenience and have a decent amount of money for such a nice-looking car. All the girls blushed wildly, and some boys did blush too at the figure stepping out of the car. A slight feminine face, which is nearly perfectly angled, sun-kissed golden blonde with crimson highlights, and for hair which has some spikiness to it, but still flows smoothly down his neck and back with only the two bangs framing the person's face. On his cheeks are 3 birthmarks or tattoos on his face, giving him a feral appearance. His right eye is a deep sapphire blue that lacks a pupil, which can make one feel lost in that beautiful blue like one is lost at sea. His left eye is a soul-piercing amethyst purple that also lack a pupil, adding to the factor you feel like he is staring into your soul. His figure is lean and athletic with strong lean muscles like a swimmer's or runner, allowing his body to carry him long distances and give him plenty of stamina. But his clothing did nothing to hide his chest muscles, which looks like it is chiseled out of the finest marble a sculptor could get his hands on. Around his neck are 3 necklaces. One is a thin crystal, but the crystal itself looks like it was meant for royalty. The second necklace is a seal-like design with a crimson rose encased in it. And the last one is a simple golden feather attached to a leather cord. The feminine-look person looks like a god gracing his presence with the mortals. His clothing for many showed he was a boy wearing the Boy Academy uniform, but with a few changes. He is wearing the Kuo Academy boys' uniforms, consists of a black blazer with white accents over a white, long-sleeved button-down shirt with vertical linings, a black ribbon on the collar, matching black pants, and brown dress shoes. He left the black blazer open to show the undershirt he was wearing, which is a plain black shirt with the number 9 placed on the upper part of his shirt. This shirt also clung to his figure, showing off and teasing some of his chest to the female population. Many girls let out a fangirl scream, and boys were wondering, cursing this new arrival and pretty boy even if he looks very feminine. Naruto, however, looked around him and given his best warm smile and a polite wave to everyone. After his entrance, Naruto left to find the main office to begin his first day at the school. The area Naruto left was like this. "Oh Kami, who was that hunk? I finally know what a god looks like. Did you see those muscles? Forget that, did you see his eyes? I wonder if he is seeing anyone. Did you see his? Ring, ring, ring." Everyone started to run into the school, the boys crying and the girls are on a mission to see if they can get a date with the new hunk or to see if he is even available for a date. Too bad for them, Naruto already has women in his life, they are just not of this world. Literally. First period, free period for Naruto. Naruto is walking down the halls of Kuo Academy completely lost in his thoughts. As he has the first period off and no class, meaning he could have arrived later than everyone else. I couldn't bear it if I given Naruto a subject like math, science, or English in the early morning. I had flashbacks to my high school days where I had math first period shivers. It was horrible. Naruto continues wandering the halls in a silent, graceful walk to not disturbed and student wanting to learn. And while let's be honest a bit, Naruto is smart, incredibly so, but he just doesn't find some subjects entertaining. He was glad he wasn't in math class like some of the student in class F whom he heard not too long ago groan in despair and agony. Kinda makes him glad Irika was so forgiving on the math subject in the academy back home. No one wanted to do math before 10 a.m. Not even Irika wanted to do math so early. Irika was also a genius when it came to teaching. He knew what subject to teach and when, even taught the best way so a majority of the students can take in the knowledge like a sponge. But if only he could have stopped the lectures. Then maybe he wouldn't have fell asleep during some of those lessons. But then again, Naruto was at the top of his class back home. It just didn't show because of other teachers always messing with his scores. Though he didn't really care about grades back then, it was something to take his mind off the village mistreatment and help a bunch understanding the economy and politics and all that stuff. But really he hated bored shit. It was no fun learning something he already knew. Maybe that's why he had such a hard time in the 2 last years of the academy. They went over a review on what they learned the past 3 to 6 years before they were allowed to take the Genin exam. Naruto stops walking in the hall to feel a presence behind him hiding. At least hide your energy better, Naruto thought, is disappointment. He knew is this world that there are not as many would-be assassins compared to his world where he slept with a knife under his pillow along with a smoke bomb. Hey, when you live in a world filled with ninja and you never knew when your next mission will be your last, you would be paranoid and training like a wacko too. And people wonder why him and Lee train like hell. Naruto turned around only to blink as the energy signature disappeared, leaving him to develop a sweat drop. Maybe they were told not to be found out? Naruto, though, trying to reason why the person was following him, but failed in doing so. Or maybe they were trying to figure out what he is like those 4 women he met at Tokyo trying to get to know him. What were their names again? Mocha, Kurumu, Mizore, Ruby, and Yasaka. Lovely women, Naruto will not lie about that. Shrugging, Naruto left the hallway trying to get the lay out of the building, but stopped when he heard the bell ring signaling second period has begun and first has ended. Naruto left the hallway quickly to avoid fangirls and find his first class. Second period, art class. Ms. Yuki, an art teacher whom is 20 years old and is smiling beautifully at her class today. Hello class. Yuki exclaims cheerfully as all the students smile and greet their teacher back. I have wonderful news. She clasps her hands. Outside her class, and certain air sweat drops at this teacher who strangely reminds him of Anko when she finds out she isn't bound to rules and torturing her. Patience. The rest of the class either whispered or looked curious. Today we are having a new student join us today. So please don't be shy trying to get to know him. Oh, Naruto-san, please come in, Yuki says with her eyes closed and a pleasant smile on her face. Naruto came and greeted the teacher, kind smile whom blushed up a storm. Naruto turned to the class and had a kind warm smile and greeted himself. Hello everyone, I am Naruto G, Namikaze Uzumaki. I am pleased to meet everyone. Please take care of me. Naruto said with a slight bow. All the girls but one had hearts while all the boy cursed Naruto for being a pretty boy. Naruto just sweat dropped at what the males were saying and also slightly wondering why all the girls had that lusty look may the Godam Maiskage had whenever she looked at him. This also goes for Tsunade, Samui, Yugao, Shizune, Konan, Kurenai, Anko, Guren, Fuka, Mido, Tenten, Mabui, Ryuzetsu, Kajiro, and Shizuka. Those 16 women haunt his dreams and make it hard for him to control himself. He lost count of how many times he had wet dreams of him and them doing varying things in bed. He had a thing for older women, it was only a bonus if they had red hair or eyes. Damn you too, San. Naruto thought, before turning his attention to his teacher. Mizuki, where shall I sit? Naruto asked softly. He was unaware his voice sounded like an angel singing into a woman's ear and melting her at how smooth it sounded. Fallen angel traits comes to mind. The teacher blushed at her new student voice, it sounded beautiful and soothing. Whether it was intentional or not she realizes she was asked a question. Blushing in embarrassment she tries to answer. Anywhere is fine I guess, Mizuki said with a slight stutter. Only to see her new student flash her a heartwarming or melting smile that made many hearts flutter. In Konoha, several women whom are looking for a certain hero snap their heads up with narrowed eyes only to double their efforts. Back with Naruto. Naruto calmly walks to an empty seat next to the window and gazes out it in thought as the teacher talks about a famous artist. Since no one was taking notes, only listening to her, Naruto went and favored Daydreaming. Naruto felt several non-human energies within the building. It is uncertain to know how many for sure. For some reason a place, be it building or a room, is blocked off from his senses. In this room where he is now there is no one that is supernatural. Meaning he is in a room filled with humans. This allows Naruto a sigh of relief as he lays down his head. He has dodged every supernatural being he can cause. Really, he doesn't want to deal with people who might or might not be his parents' enemies. This also involves some kind of government agency and such things that deal in the supernatural. He honestly doesn't know how they work, but he did his best to avoid them. He doesn't have a quarrel with any of them, so he is trying to avoid them. But during one chase he found out they had some kind of tracking device on him. He does not know how it fully works, but avoiding them isn't much of a trouble. But then again, he very much doubts that it will take long for anyone to find him. He also stands out anywhere he goes. And it shows, seeing as he was a model in this world for a short period. He oddly wonders if anyone has seen his pictures. He oddly thinks about Princess Koyuki and what would she think if she saw those modeling pictures. She was one of many females after his hand and heart. This includes Haruna and Toki. All three of these women are daimyo of their lands and wish to marry Naruto. And leave it to him to say he will think about it. Really, he was buying himself time, hoping they wanted someone else. Even if he wasn't a tri-breed, he was still an Uzumaki. He would outlive everyone he loves. He doubts this includes his kids, but it may be possible they do not get the Uzumaki genes like Tsunade did till he somehow activate during the war which de-aged her. But it has been some time and all the women are still chasing him. Which fills him with hope and also fuels his fears even more. He doesn't want to hurt any of them, which is most likely why he was put into the CRA. So he can marry every female that isn't afraid of him. Which means by minimum there are or is over 20 women after him, 3 are daimyo and 2 are kages. Naruto does a mental blink. Wait, if the elemental nations can't find him. Naruto shivers in his seat as he knows Tsunade will have his head if he doesn't return soon. Not to self, make a portal allowing him to traverse between this world and his world. He thinks mentally. Uzumaki-san, Mizuki called out to her student. He was brand new and seemed to daydream if you aren't including him. Naruto raises his head to see the fairly attractive Teach give him a concerned look. Yes, sensei? Naruto asked with a slight tilted head. Some of the females, including the teacher in the class, fought the urge to yell kawaii. With a pleasant smile, Mizuki spoke kindly. I have assignment for you. Since you came in when we were painting on a project, I want you to draw something you think is beautiful. Okay? Mizuki said with cheerful smile which seems infected as everyone else smiled. Ding dong. Don't forget class, you have a field trip coming up. We will be visiting the Greek Museum in Tokyo within 3 days, so please have your assignments in before that time. Class dismissed. Yuki said as she got ready to leave too. She looked up when she heard a door open to be surprised her newer student has disappeared moments after the bell had already rung. Yuki pouted as she wanted to invite him to eat with her and some students on the student council and some other students she was relatively friendly with. Though she had to admit it, she wasn't the only female in the class stealing looks at him. She knew since his arrival many females, including some teachers, knew he was a model for a company not too long ago before he disappeared. Not much is known about the new student other than he has this aura around him that wants you to be at his side. The teacher shook her head and packed her things. She would get a chance to know this Naruto Uzumaki. She was a teacher who cherished all her students after all and friends with many of them. Time skip, past all the boring stuff. Naruto is now laying under a tree as he enjoys his lunch break like many of student body and teacher staff. Naruto had an interesting time during the last 2 periods where he met a female devil named Akino Himejima. She is like Anko of his world, had an aura of a sadist. How no one noticed was beyond him. In fact, he had to do a double take to make sure he wasn't in fact looking at a clone of Anko. Other than her aura of a sadist, which glows like a fucking neon light, to Naruto she was very pleasant and nice. He oddly noted her looking at him with a calculated gaze as if trying to figure him out. He knew that she wasn't really a full devil, but maybe a half-breed. Her second energy source suggests fallen angel. But unlike her, his energy is 100% in sync with each other. Meaning if they wanted to find out what Naruto is, then he would have to tell them. Which won't be for a while, seeing as he hasn't made any sort of contact with any of his family members. He knew it wouldn't be long till trouble found him, because somehow it always does. It's never that far off, really. And another fact of how he knew Akino is not a full devil is because he can sense her powers are not in sync with each other. The only 2 reasons he can think of that causes this. 1. She rejected her fallen angel side, or something akin to hating fallen angels together. 2. She doesn't train with that power or has no control over it. This also means while she can suppress that side of her, she is doing a damn poor job of doing it. Him being a sage and a Kage level, but really a Mao and Seraph level being, Shinobi will notice this and use the amount of energy right away, and no doubt every other experienced nin can and will be able to sense it as well. If Naruto was going to be friends with this girl, he no doubts is going to break her out this one way or another. It isn't really healthy to reject a part of you when it will play a big role in your life while you try to ignore it. Akino is doing just that. She is limiting herself to her true potential. And in a real battle she is only going to not only hurt her king, but her friends as well. Naruto is brought out of his thoughts when he feels a familiar energy close to his own. Cracking his right eye open, Naruto is now gazing at a crimson-haired beauty. She is a young woman who appears to be in her late teens, with light skin, blue-green, and a buxom figure. Her most distinctive feature is her long, crimson-red hair that reaches down to her thighs, with a single hair strand sticking out from the top. Her hair also has loose bangs covering her forehead and side bangs framing her face. She is wearing the Kuo Academy girls' school uniform, which consists of a white long-sleeved, button-down shirt, short sleeves for spring-summer, with a black ribbon on her shirt collar worn under a black shoulder cape and a matching button-down corset, a magenta skirt with white accents, and brown dress shoes over white crew-length socks. Of course, Naruto had only a couple of thoughts on this. "Tusen, I believe I inherited your love for redheads," as he looked at the lovely figure known as Rias Gremory. He knew who she is thanks to running into the perverted trio who proceed to fill him on all the beauties of Kuo Academy. Rias and Akino were named the two great ladies, which made the Lost Heir snort and shake his head. In battle, it doesn't matter of your title or moniker for Naruto. He won't believe anyone is great unless they prove it, and right now all the factions have done nothing but made Naruto feel disappointed. They all have the potential to get along so well, but their pride, greed, and other such things get in the way. Naruto will admit even he has faults. But the sheer stupidity this factions were displaying made him either laugh till he cried or prayed for the beings of this world. And you know shit is bad when you see Naruto praying even if he isn't religious. He lived in a world of ninjas. There was not much religion where he grown up. Unless you count the will of fire, but again that in itself is not a religion but of a belief that his village had in Konoha. It kinda acted like a moral or something to inspire others. Should I act cool or flirt with her? Might as well. Let's make things interesting. Naruto smirked mentally as he brought himself out of his mental musings. My, I went to sleep and woke up with an angel looking down on Lil Omi. Naruto spoke playfully. The crimson-haired girl shone a blinking expressions before an amused smile as to finding what Naruto said funny. Naruto knew from the start as soon as he looked at her she is a devil, a full devil, or moreover a pure-blooded devil. While he was in Tokyo, he met an interest group of women. Their names were Mocha, Queen of Vampires, Yasaka, leader of the Yokai faction in Tokyo, Mizore, leader of the Yukiana, Ruby, Queen of Witches, and finally Kurumu, Queen of Succubus. While those titles were given to them as to a testament to them defeating Alucard, the first vampire. Naruto chuckled when he heard that from Ruby, Mocha, Kurumu, and Yasaka. All informed him of the supernatural world and how it functions, who are the leaders, how their rankings go, and etc. After setting up an ID, they given him the cell he has now in case they ever wanted to talk to him. Which he sometimes finds himself wondering how they are doing. Maybe he should call? But then again, they may be doing something that is keeping them busy. So he didn't want to disturb them if that are. Hello, Uzumaki-san. May I sit down with you? Rias asked politely with a small smile still on her face. Naruto shrugged and sat up to greet the lovely redhead. Well, I take it you're Rias Gremory. Naruto spoke in a lazy fashion, seemingly not interested in Rias' appearance. He has two eyes why she is here. But the latter is much more likely as he knew that she as fact knew he wasn't human. As such she could be testing the waters to see if he is friend or foe. And judging by his surroundings, her peerage is in hiding along with a barrier she has just placed up with the help of the said student council, whom is not far off either. She is being careful of how she approaches him, plus her backup is another heir to one of the remaining 72 pillars. This should be an interesting conversation, Naruto thought with a small smirk showing on his face. Techniques list. Blade of Destruction, or Sword of Destruction is nothing more than a simple yet complex technique Naruto created by himself to master his powers of destruction. This technique takes in the shape of a simple sword made from a solid mass of his power of destruction energy. In turn, it's simple to what this demonic blade can do is destroys anything it touches or cuts. While not to the full extent of his power, this technique is simple and can be useful if one knows how to control this technique. Cut and done. For now. Chapter 4. Blue-green eyes looked into an odd set of eyes, what seemed like a longing glance. As if something within them called out to each other. Something long lost that was just found. Though what is found is unknown and might remain that way for a while. The blue-green hue eyes had a sign of frustration, the crystal azure blue and amethyst purple had a smug glint to them. With a sigh of defeat, Rias tipped over her king to show her signs of surrender, while the boy across from her gave her a small smile. "Good game, Rias-chan," Naruto spoke warmly and friendly way, enjoying the tea that was made by Akino earlier. "How did you do it?" Rias asked herself more than Naruto, studying the board of chess with a critical gaze, trying to find the mistakes she made but found none that were there. All her moves were right and should have won her the game. Her defense was strong and her attack on the board was sharp as a razor. But yet he somehow turned the tides against her. It doesn't make any sense. How was he able to win when she was winning until the last move? He even beat her with one piece. Only a single chess piece. Only his king remained standing, and now all her pieces are gone, including her own king, which she forfeit the match. Naruto across from her smirked lightly, glad he won the chess game. He played shogi with Shika even after the war ended. Thanks to playing with Shikamaru, Naruto can only be beaten by someone who is a level Shika smart. He pulled this same move on Shika when he only had his king left during one of the matches. It was insanely hard to do, but he won, and that left Shika confused and awed. He still remembers coming back for a weekly game, still staring at the same board from that game, trying to figure out how Naruto beat him with a single piece. Shika also mentioned he was either a genius and not given credit, or he is batshit insane. Either way, Naruto laughed it off as the two old friends started a new game. Thankfully, no one as smart as him, or else I would be in trouble. I wonder how the others are doing, Naruto thought. You see, before the chess match, Naruto and Rias talked within the barrier that her and this Sona put up. Though Naruto could easily break out, it would draw attention. So to buy himself time and prepare a planned story, Naruto agreed to meet Rias' peerage, then Sona's peerage last, in hopes that he earns some of their trust. This is also not planned by Naruto himself, but is going with the flow of things, as he plans to expose his fallen angel side and not his angel nor his devil side to either heiress, as such would be more for shock factor and a bit of a prank on them. And if Naruto's hunch is right, then he can play his part as an independent party, acting out of his own interest and not really having a faction to back him up. He knows from experience that it's best to be honest, even only slightly, in this situation, as it can become ugly or end up well for him. It's been a full night since that meeting yesterday. And now Naruto is going to have two heirs breathing down his neck asking him questions. One of the said heirs is his aunt and a member of his own clan. Well, they don't need to know that yet. "I'm magic," Naruto said with a cheesy grin, only to have his aunt look up at him weirdly, then giggled lightly. "You're strange, Uzumaki," Naruto, Rias says as she leans back in her chair, getting another good look at the male in front of her. She had to admit he is very attractive. His muscles are lean and well built, his eyes shine or appear as fine crystals sparking in the candle-lit filled room. His skin is tanned, yet she can see it's a nice balance and appears natural to his own skin tone. She also remembers reading a model magazine that he was in not too long ago. Rias had to push the blush down when she thought of that picture. Oh yes, Rias likes what she is looking at, and she knew Akino liked it too, if the lingering glances are anything to go by. But for some reason or another, something deep within the back of her mind, Rias feels like she knows this male. And she can't shake the feeling, as if he was keeping a secret. Maybe. "Tell me, Naruto-san. What are you?" Rias gained a serious business-like look, as she wanted the meeting begin already. Her curiosity is killing her. His aura isn't like something she encountered before. Naruto sported a devilish smile, or his usual foxy grin, and chuckled. Now, Rias-chan, that would be telling. How about we wait for your peerage and then start the meeting? But I will give you the indulgence of knowing I am of a mixed race," Naruto said in an even tone as both him and Rias set up another chess match. "Mixed with what?" Rias asked out of curiosity, her delicate brow raising up a little on her beautiful face. Naruto nods and continues, yes, I am what most people could call a hybrid or something mixed with two or more races. But what those races are I can't tell you. Yet Naruto finished with a small smirk towards Rias, whom had a light cute pout. Though she gotten some information on him, she did not get what she needed, and to see if he is on a faction side. But at least she did confirm that he isn't human. And why won't you tell me what you are? When you obviously know who I am and what I am, Rias pointed out. Oh, who couldn't know the great Rias-tan? I heard your famous Naruto, says with a teasing grin. Rias on the other side blushed and had an idea to teach her older brother something. Onie-sama no baka, Rias mutters, only to have Naruto chuckle at her embarrassment, which causes the girl to blush a bit redder. Even in Tokyo, Naruto heard about how her brother was a siscon and talked nothing but his sister. While it appeared childish to some, Naruto knew that his uncle, from what he heard about him, is that Surzek cared a lot about his family and friends. His sister complex might just be a facade to hide how broken he really is. After all, his mother was his twin sister, so it's kinda easy to see why he cares and adores Rias so much. The loss of his mother must have been hard on him, his Oba-san and his Gigi on his mom's side. He could understand why they were so protective of Rias when they couldn't help their oldest child, Kushina. Gomi-I. I just think you're cute when you blush. But to answer any of your questions, Naruto says as Rias blushes red at the cute comment, though she had no idea why she is blushing at the simplest compliment he is giving. He did sound honest when he said the comment, and his voice held no ill will. Rias nodded and cleared her throat. Naruto-san, how do I know I can trust you not to cause trouble? Her flushed face gone, and now sits a more serious face. You don't, Naruto says simply and honestly. Rias gives Naruto a confessed look. You don't think I can trust you? Rias asked with the edge to her voice. No, I am not saying that, Rias-chan. I am saying that despite my aura is something that piques you interest. Doesn't mean you trust me automatically, nor does it mean you do not trust me at all. What I am fully trying to say is that you keep an open mind when it comes to my activity, is a word you could say. Or certain jobs I do. I am not a member of any faction, so for food or money I do odd jobs for clients and other parties, Naruto says as he knew full well how to place himself in any field. Though he can survive without food and anything else for a number of days, and he was immune to all poisons, sickness, and etc. that affects the body. Being a Jinchuriki or ex-Jinchuriki has its perks. So you're like a mercenary then? Rias asks again, getting down to business. Wanting to know why Naruto was here in the first place. But she is also happy because now she knows he does not belong to any faction, nor would he joining any faction without good reason. Mercenaries were sorta like that if she recalls correctly. More or less, yes. My new job has me delivering a letter to your brother, the current Mao. Am I correct? Naruto says, not really lying why he was here nor telling the truth. He does have a letter to deliver, but the client part is his parents, and seeing as they are in the afterlife, meaning the real client is Naruto himself. Yes, Onie-sama is the current Mao. Though, what's so important about one letter? And why not send it through normal channels? Rias asked, thinking she could maybe help Naruto complete his job rather easily. Naruto shrugs in a nonchalant manner. Maybe my client doesn't trust anyone he works with. Or it's something sensitive in nature he had to hire an outsider to deliver. Honestly, I was just told to deliver this letter to him personally. Anything happens along the way is on me, Naruto sighed in a dismissive tone. I see, Rias said in thought at the information he just told her. Then an idea popped into her head with giving off a glint in her eye, which Naruto noted. Tell me, did you ever work with devils before? Rias asked simply. No, can't say I have. Interested in hiring me? Naruto said with an even voice while gazing at Rias. You could say that. Tell me how much. Rias shot back with a question. If she can hire him and potentially have him join her peerage, it will boost her peerage strength and maybe even get her closer to dealing with that problem. Also, he has field experience, which is a bonus. So they're a win-win for him and her. He gets paid and she gets a strong member for her peerage. Too bad she doesn't know his real reason for being here. Take the number you have in your head and add 6 zeros, Naruto said, quoting a movie he saw here during his time in Tokyo. It was quite a good movie too. Though the graphics amazed Naruto, Mocha and Yasaka told him it was a U.S. made movie, which left him confused till he did research on the US. 5 million? We'll be fine then? Rias asked with a tilt head and innocent expression. Though Naruto stopped in his tracks and looked at Rias with a confused/shocked face. He knows from his village 2 million yen is the equal payment of a high-class A-rank mission and an S-rank being 4 million yen or more. Just how rich is his family on his mother's side? Maybe it's better if he didn't know. His father was an angel turned fallen angel and his mother a devil. Though one can argue that sometimes his father never really became a fallen in the first place and his mother was well. His mother. Naruto sees Akino come from the small kitchen in the clubroom with snacks and tea. Akino is a very attractive girl. Akino is a young woman with a buxom figure around the same age as Rias, with very long black hair and violet eyes. Her hair is usually tied in a long ponytail, reaching all the way down to her legs with 2 strands sticking out from the top and sloping backwards, with an orange ribbon keeping it in place. Like most of the girls at Kuo Academy, she wears the customary Kuo Academy girls' school uniform, along with black knee-high socks. Naruto wouldn't lie and say he wasn't interested in the beauty that is Akino. The one thing he tries to avoid is the subjects of her heart. He could sense the hatred and sadness in her heart. So he avoid all subjects of the past when talking to her to avoid bring her heartache. And most importantly, avoid an awkward conversion, because Naruto, even after his awakening, he still had trouble understanding women. It seems Bachu is having trouble handling Naruto, Akino says with her eyes closed and a beautiful yet no real smile graces her face. She would have to better to fool a shinobi of any caliber to hide what she is doing. It's plain as day to Naruto that he can see past her mask. He should know about masks. He had one though out the academy. Rias given Akino a quick glare before facing Naruto again. Anyway, Naruto-san, are you interested? Rias asked with a small light in her eye, which Naruto noticed. He also noticed her emotions waver a bit when she is looking at him with hope in her eyes. Damn empathic abilities. Naruto shrugged in a nonchalant manner and nodded. I see nothing wrong with it, honestly. But I want to lay some ground rules before we agree to this contract, Naruto briefly said, along Rias to nod in agreement. 1. I am just a hire and can agree or disagree with the job you assigned me. 2. I can cancel the contract if I ever find something morally wrong with your actions or jobs. 3rd and final or all is that I have to get paid 50% before I take the job, and the last 50% is when the job is complete. Deal? Naruto said with a calm expression. He dubbed Hokage mode he already developed when he took over the Shinobi Alliance when all 5 Kage were out of commission during the war. Note that the canon Naruto will be altered as Sasuke isn't alive and other things did not happen. That sounds reasonable. But do you wish to iron out some details? Rias asked, taking a thinking pose, while at the same time flaunting her body off by emphasizing her whole figure to draw the male across from her attention. Trouble being a devil is when devils wanted something like she is already lusting after him. They will show off their body by teasing the opposite sex in hope of seducing them and reproducing with the said male. It's automatic and pure instinct when this happens, so there is no way to control it fully, though it could be managed to a degree. Rias and no doubt Akino will do this by choice, as they were taught to control these actions by Rias' mother, whom taught them to hide it to a minimum. Maybe we can deal with that later. Where's the rest of your peerage anyway? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. I believe they are attending out customers at the moment, such as contracts and all. You're familiar how devils work, correct? To some degree. I never really paid all that much attention to certain things if they did not involve my tasks or jobs. The knowledge on such subjects are hazy on me, Naruto told honestly. During his time in Tokyo, spending time with Mizore and Mocha allowed Naruto to get the rundown basics of how each faction works and who their leaders are. The details were left out as Naruto was leaving town within a week, so he didn't spend as much time with them as he could have. Though he does miss them somewhat. He enjoyed the time he spent with them. I see. Well, don't worry about it. Though I do have a request for you as your first job. Oh? Naruto raised an eyebrow. Issei Hyudu. Are you aware of who he is? One of the 3 mega perverts I hear about? Naruto asked with a tilted head, making him look somewhat like a fox. The 2 girls have no problem suppressing their blushes, but they want to cuddle with Naruto, yelling out kawaii. Why yes, Rias said before collecting herself. He is an interest of mine and I wish to add him to my peerage. But I can't at the moment. I wish for you to watch over him and keep him from danger. There have reports of fallen angels in the city, and I don't want to take chances in them kidnapping him from under my nose, Rias said, giving Naruto a protection detail job. Better than I could have hoped for, Naruto thought as he nodded his head. It was easy for him to do a job protection detail, as he'd done many solo jobs before after the war. He is even an honorary shinobi of each hidden village, so Sannin traveling rights were included. He did train like a madman in each village and also strengthening the bonds with each shinobi he met. He was widely popular back home, but he didn't let it get to his head. He just wished Sasuke survived through the war. He did have something very important to remember Sasuke by. He would often look in the mirror and see Sasuke's EMS active at night. Naruto can morph it to the Rinnegan, then into the hybrid state of Rinne Sharingan in both eyes, which Naruto only uses in Sage of Six Paths mode, much like his Bijou cloak. But again, the EMS, Rinne Sharingan, and the Sage of Six Paths cloak were his last 3 ace cards. As only about 10 people who know about this. 9 being the Bijou and the final one being Killer Bee, who was there when Sasuke, the sage himself, transferred all his power including Sasuke's own into him. This also made Naruto's bloodline much like the Uchiha, though the Sharingan now belongs to the Uzumaki clan. And he hopes to keep it that way. I have no problem with it. I will give details of the first drop tomorrow morning, Naruto explained, and he looked outside and see it darkening. It seems to be getting late, Akino said, stating the obvious. Neither Rias nor Naruto can blame, as they too lost track of time. It seems I should leave. Well, we can meet tomorrow after school, Rias-chan. See ya, Naruto waved with a wink before disappearing in a wind Shinshan, leaving a surprised aunt and her queen behind. He was interesting, Rias said in an offhand fashion, but clearly surprised by the sudden exit and how it was done. Do you believe that was wind magic? Akino asked. No, I sensed no magic in that spell or technique he just used. I believe it's best we make Naruto meet Kaneko in the morning, that way we have a better grasp of what kind of power he has. He could be a yokai, Rias thought out loud. Akino could only nod in agreement before they too went to retire for the night. Looking forward to see Naruto's strengths. Morning. Naruto yawned as he walked down the pathway towards Kuo High. Normally he wasn't a morning person, so he would sleep in unless there is a mission involved. But seeing as he has protection duty, Naruto already made a plan to keep an eye on Issei Hyudu. Not a complex one where he uses his Fuinjutsu skills or even his Sunaten, sand release, to make him third eye and watch the boy. So he went basic. He sent a shadow clone and had it turn invisible. It will poof once the Hiratian seal is placed on Issei and when he said pervert gets to school. Simple but effective. He wasn't worried about Issei being pulled into the supernatural yet. But he did keep an eye out for anything suspicious in regards to the fallen angels. Speaking of which, Naruto frowns at. He wouldn't be killing his own kind per se. But killing isn't something he enjoys, as he is a sage and he wants everyone to be peaceful. While he wasn't a fool to believe true peace can always be achieved in certain places, he does know that sometimes that the most corrupt people should be killed in order to reach that state. He does believe true peace is possible as long as everyone understands each other through the use of compassion and kindness. Plus, if these fallen angels do report to Azazel personally, maybe he can send his uncle though them so he can meet him. Worth a shot, Naruto thought, and honestly, he would just need to capture a fallen angel, use EMS, then have them deliver a message saying that he wishes to meet Azazel. Or maybe he could just ask. It wouldn't be that hard. Plus, it would be a waste of chakra to just use EMS on the lower tier people. Whim might not even have direct contact with the fallen leader. Plus, if he was going to reveal the EMS, he would have to explain to his aunt what it can do. That would be a pain in the ass to do, and he wasn't the type to force someone to do anything against their will. But the opinion is there, but he knew that it wasn't the right choice to make. "Ohio, Naruto-san," a male voice called out. Naruto looked to see a blonde male, pretty boy, a bit shorter than himself, maybe by an inch or two. The male is a handsome young man with short blonde hair, gray eyes, and a mole under his left eye. He wears the Kuo Academy boys' school uniform, which consists of a black blazer with white accents over a white, long-sleeved dress shirt with a black ribbon on the collar, matching black pants, and brown dress shoes, much like Naruto is currently wearing. But, "Ohio. Do I know you?" Naruto asked with a tilt head. This person must be part of Rias' peerage or just a random male student that somehow knows his name. Which is unlikely but creepy if it does turn out to be a random. Naruto paused for a brief moment to feel out this boy, noticing he has a devil's aura, though hidden well. Naruto can still sense it because of his title of being a sage. He also felt this boy's heart and noticed the large amount of negative emotion Naruto knows all too well. Hatred, but for what or whom? Those questions will be answered later, and he draws his attention back towards the all-natural blonde. Also, does his aunt peerage all have emo problems? If they do, he needed to beat that shit out of them or make them let it go. One emo is enough, Sasuke a good example. But a whole group of them? Nope, nah, Naruto ain't going to put up with that bullshit. Pardon my manners. I am Yudo Kiba, and I am a part of Rias's party, Kiba said with a kind, friendly smile. Naruto nodded, now knowing that Kiba is a part of Rias' peerage. Pleased to meet you, Kiba. I am Uzumaki Naruto. But just call me Naruto. I am not one for formalities, Naruto said with a kinda warm smile and a shrug. Hi, President has informed me you are being hired by her and you line of work. Would you kindly follow me please to the club room? Kiba asked, giving Naruto a gentleman's smile, which in return made our hero raise an eyebrow. Naruto only nodded and followed Kiba towards the old school building and went into the said building to see Rias. So why does Rias-chan call a meeting with me already? I thought I was going to be left to do my job, Naruto said, looking at Kiba, trying to find reason for this sudden meeting. President believe it's best we work together with you, so she wishes for you to know you co-workers, so to speak. I believe that is her reason, Kiba said with a friendly smile. While Kiba wasn't fully debriefed like Kaneko was, he was made aware that this person will be working alongside him, Kaneko, Akino, and Rias. Though the nature of this escapes Kiba, as he doesn't understand what is so important that Rias would suddenly shift her attention to this unknown male so suddenly from the Hayadu boy. Kiba studies Naruto for a while and notes very noticeable things when looking at Naruto. One is his eyes, as one is a deep rich purple and the other a deep rich blue, like two gemstones were placed in his eyes. Another is his hair, which holds two different colors. One color is golden blonde while the other is a deep crimson red like Rias. He oddly wonders what race Naruto is, as he knows from Rias that he is a mixed breed. The two continue to walk into the club room. Naruto is greeted with the sight of his aunt and her queen along with another peerage member he hasn't met. Though Naruto just deadpans. Lolas are everywhere in this world, Naruto thought as he looked at the cute loli-like girl. The girl in front of Naruto is a petite girl around 15 years of age with white hair and hazel eyes. Her front hair has 2 long bangs going past her shoulders and several loose bangs hanging over her forehead, while the back has a short bob cut. She also wears a black cat-shaped hair clip on both sides of her hair. She usually wears the Kuo Academy girls' school uniform, without the shoulder cape. Naruto-kun, this Kaneko-chan. You will be working alongside her. I hope that isn't a problem, Rias greeted Naruto with a warm smile. Naruto nodded at learning the name of the cute white-haired girl. He oddly reminded him of someone, yet he could not figure out whom. Kaneko just stared at Naruto like he had an answer she had been seeking for a long time. Naruto blinked and smiled warmly as he offered his hand. Nice to meet you, Kaneko-chan. I hope we get along, Naruto greeted. Kaneko only nodded as she continued to stare at Naruto with unblinking eyes. Naruto chose to continue the conversation with Rias at the moment. So Rias, why did you summon a sudden meeting? Naruto asked as he took a seat opposite of Kaneko, whom is still staring at him. Yes. I called everyone here today to let you know fallen angels are within the area, so please be careful when you're out. Kaneko and Naruto, I believe the fallen angels are making a move on Issei, so please keep an eye on him. That is all. Rias spoke simply. Everyone nodded in understanding. Naruto, however, felt a keen anger and hatred flare for a split second before getting it under control. Naruto blinked at this as he glanced at Akino for a moment before nodding at Rias. He left shortly afterwards, stating he will start guarding the boy today. It seems her hatred is focused on fallen angels in general. I wonder why though, Naruto thought. Could it be because of her being part fallen angel? Rias watched Naruto leave, studying his form as he disappeared from the door frame. So Kaneko-chan, were you able to pick up anything? Rias asked as she looked at Kaneko, whom was staring at the door Naruto left at. With Naruto during lunch break. Naruto was stuck in an odd spot that could or could not reveal his identity to his aunt and her peerage. Not too long ago, Issei had come into contact with a fallen angel named Yuma or something similar. He wasn't really paying attention as he was focused on eating his ramen. As such, he did not know if a fallen angel could sense a fallen angel. It was a subject that never crossed his mind till now. Some habits never die, it seems. While the two talked not too far from Naruto, he felt a spike of ill intent coming from the girl. It wasn't a power spike or anything related to this magic they use. It was purely emotional ill intent of killing the boy, and Naruto only picked it up because of his empathic abilities, which are still more useful than any skill he had in his arsenal at the moment. Naruto continued to eavesdrop on the love-struck teen as he was asked for a date by the cute fallen angel. So this Saturday, Naruto thought as he took a sip of his tea and thought, I could have a Kagebunshi and follow them. And since Issei is already marked by a Hiraition seal on the boy, so getting to him in a flash will be simple. It would take a very powerful barrier and a strong user to stop a time/space ninjutsu, Naruto thought. He had some experience with magic barriers thanks to Ruby. While most of them are easy to punch though, he does know that his ninja skills or Fuinjutsu skills won't be much effect against barriers as they use a complete different system. Magic was odd for Naruto to learn about. While it could barely hold a candle ninchu, it was useful. Mana, or in a simpler form, is half of chakra, the spiritual half to be exact. While the physical half, otherwise known as ki, chi, and varying other names, is the other half of his world chakra. The only race that seems to be close to his world of energy users would be the yokai, whom use an unbalanced amount of either energies as they never mix the right ratio of spiritual and physical chakra. This often brought yokai to an odd standstill with the ratios, as even if they are naturally attuned to chakra, they do not really use it correctly. He was more powerful yokai have a better mixture or have better luck using their chakra, but still didn't bring out the full potential they had. Compared to genin of his world, they were still academy students, as the academy itself is able to teach correctly how to blend the both halves of the chakra. True, there were many strong people in this world, and some even matched the power of a Kage, but against the full-on team of shinobi? No, even the Mao and other leaders would have their luck pressed, as Naruto himself was able to take down and kill a god and goddess-like figure, as Kaguya was able to shift and create other dimensions around her and use them in a fight. Madara, as much as an evil, backstabbing, twisted, insane person he was smart and knew how to fight, or dance as he liked to call it. Plus, with his mastery over the Sharingan, made him very dangerous. Silently, Naruto watched as Issei danced happily at the fact he got a date with a cute girl, while Naruto frowned only ever so slightly. He really couldn't feel sorry for the boy. The look of joy, smiling face, and his emotions made Naruto happy. The boy was happy, but he wasn't aware of the hidden danger that girl came with. Which reminds me, I should be careful of who I cross here. Who knows what kind of tactics these people might use to get my power, Naruto thought with a frown on his face. His power is vast. It can be compared to the original sage of Six Paths himself. His power is godlike and dangerous, and he has to use it with caution, or he will end up like Kaguya, only he will be harder to handle. While he swore an oath to each village, it doesn't mean there are hidden dangers in this world and his own. He could give people chakra, take away their ability to use chakra, control the elements at a whim, alter the landscape he stands on, create a moon with his power alone. That's why one of his titles is Naidame Rakudo Senin. It's because the sage himself given Naruto all his powers so he too could be reborn into the future as a human. But no one knew that but Naruto. It is scary and frightening at the same time, as he knew he was immortal and the old man sage knew it too. Yet he trusted Naruto so much that he given Naruto his chakra and powers. It was an enormous responsibility to take up. But he did his best every day before he left, and peace lasting throughout the elemental nations. It made him happy, sad, and joyful before Naruto realized something very important. Naruto blinked for a moment before smacking his head. I forgot to remove my restriction seals when I started to open the rift. No wonder why I had to recover. Yep, Naruto was still Naruto. Is something wrong, Uzumaki-san? Naruto turned his head to see Akino with another fake pleasant smile on her face. Just thinking of some things that has passed, Naruto replied as Akino sat next to him. It seems Issei-san is very happy, Akino said, to which Naruto nodded. Let him be happy. Even if that girl was a fallen. Everyone deserves happiness in their lives. We all can't focus on the negative and bad part, or we will miss the beauty that life gives, Naruto said as he felt Akino emotions flare again at the mention of fallen, but only to change rapidly to something akin of thinking or some other emotion he could not place. It seems they are making a move, Akino said calmly as she smiled at him. I look forward to working with you, Uzumaki-san, Akino said politely. Naruto closed his eyes and thought for a moment. Nothing comes without a price, so before you go into battle you better decide how much you're willing to lose. Because we are all in the same game, just different levels. Dealing with the same hell but different devils. As war and battle may sometimes be a necessary evil. But no matter how necessary, it's still an evil and always will be one. We will not learn how to live together in peace by killing each other, children, Naruto mumbled softly. That is a very interesting quote, Uzumaki-san. Who said that? Akino asked. It was a very deep, meaningful quote indeed. A friend of mine I fought in a war with, Naruto said, having a far-off look into the cloud, thinking, or that one cloud shinobi that given his life so Naruto could deliver the finishing blow to Madara. But by then Kaguya appeared before Madara was dead, and that woman killed him before Naruto could react. He remembered crying for a week straight after the war was won. Even then, he still cries for those who were lost and hopes they find peace in the afterlife. As the toll was high and the cost was great. Many people of his generation had died during the war, and some of the older generation died as well. I didn't know you were in a war, Akino said in a surprised tone as she looked at Naruto with interest. If Rias can get him to join her peerage, then it will be a great boon for them, as he has valuable battle experience for them to learn from. The fact he is very attractive is only an added bonus. War is all the same, Akino-chan. Whether it's waged by supernatural forces or humans. Not one side is to blame, but yet everyone is to blame. As soon as one enters a war, they are just as guilty as the party they are fighting. In war, it doesn't prove who is right or wrong. Only those who are left after the dust settles, Naruto said as he got up and the school bell went off. To Naruto, it didn't matter the religion, race, background, or how you lived your life. If you started a war, you're evil. Taking a life is taking a life, and no one, not even a god, could escape this fact. Some might say a holy war, or purging the lands of evil, but in the end you're using war, murder, and death to get your way. Yes, some people are more naturally evil than others, Naruto wouldn't deny that at all. But killing and murder are not the best way to go round and fix things. Would killing be needed to ensure peace or remove someone to dangerous? Maybe, but killing should be a last resort. 'Cause killing will cause sadness, pain, grief, rage, and sorrow. It would be only a matter of time before revenge took hold, and the cycle of hatred and war wouldn't end unless everyone put aside their differences and made an effort to stop the killing. Naruto didn't need to look back and see Akino studying him intently. He knew that each faction was scared in their numbers and had been trying to build up their numbers again, so when war happened they would be able to fight back. Naruto knew he would be viewed as a potential weapon like the village did in the beginning. He wasn't going to let any faction control him regardless if he is related or not. See you later, Akino-chan. Naruto waved goodbye and went to his class, leaving the queen alone in her thoughts as he mind went over what Naruto said. Saturday, day of the date. I don't mind the fact protecting this boy, but I do mind the fact that this date is taking so long. Naruto whined mentally as he shadowed the couple from a fair distance. He was never one to sit still unless he is mediating, and he could do that for hours at a time. But possible version of excitement involved poking a bear or pranking someone dangerous like the Hyugas. Damn, he was bored. He also noticed several other fallen signatures around, but they weren't timed nor were a threat at the moment, but to be sure he sent a Kage Bunshin to restrain them if they made any sort of move on Issei that would mean harm to the boy. Issei and the girl whom is named Raynare, according to Risa, is a low-tier fallen. But she is still dangerous since she has some form of light magic that can fatally harm devils if they aren't careful, though thanks to his parents Naruto will not have to worry about such things. Though Naruto has no talent for magic as he has ninchu, he does know a very useful thing. Naruto knows from experimenting that he is immune to a wide range of things. One of these is light magic. So thankful I have chakra with an immunity to all types of magic, Naruto thought as he didn't realize he was basically a walking cheat code now, plus the fact if he given someone chakra like a devil they would develop an immunity towards light magic, as it was similar to yang release in nature. Just like yin release was oddly close to darkness magic. Therefore, if one were to master yin release, yang release, and yin yang release, they could rightfully be immune to any light or darkness-based magic. Chakra is fucking awesome like that. Issei, could you please do me a favor? Naruto raised his eyebrow as he hid behind a tree. He felt a barrier go up and took a look around where the fallen and Issei was. It was a public park with nothing too special about it other than it's empty. Which made Naruto's sweat drop at this. How does one not notice they are completely alone like this is beyond me, Naruto thought with a deadpan look. Sure, he was dense as fuck when he was younger, but he wasn't that dense. Being a Jinchuriki, orphan, and living alone made Naruto aware of his surroundings far more than a child his age should have acted. Being a Jinchuriki to Kurama also given him slightly enhanced senses to pick up things such as other people in the surround area. While not as great as Kakashi's senses, they were enough to keep him alive. One advantage of being an ex-Jinchuriki is that he still keeps his enhanced senses this boosted by him being a non-human. So his sense of hear-smell is like a wolf if he doesn't use chakra. With his vision it's like an eagle's without the boost of chakra. And his sense of touch and taste is increased as well. Would you please die for me? Naruto rolled his eyes and started the flow of chakra throughout his body. I am destined to be either surrounded by perverts or saving them. Kami-sama, if you can hear me, please don't make my eternal life hell, Naruto thought as he disappeared in a blur of motion only going down in speed. Bang. What the fuck? Language, young man. You're still in front of a lady, Naruto lightly scolded Issei as the boy was forced to watch his transformed girlfriend get launched like a rocket across the playground. And Naruto-senpai? Issei says in a shocked, confused voice. Last time I checked I was the only Naruto Uzumaki in existence. So don't wear my name out, Naruto said in a fond tone as he grabbed a light spear from the air without looking. Now that is rude to try and kill someone when I am trying to save them, Naruto scolded playfully at the woman known as Raynare. Shut up. Who are you? Raynare growled in frustration. She didn't sense him coming and he hits like a fucking train with that punch. She could already feel her body being affected by that punch and he only hit her once. Not only that, he was casually twirling around her spear like he wasn't affected by her light magic. Who am I? I am not but a simply mercenary hired to protect the boy here. And you threatened to kill my contact. For shame on you, Missy, Naruto playfully scolded her, who Raynare just turned red and glared all her hate towards Naruto. Fuck you. Sorry, while you're very attractive and I would love to bed you 6 ways to Sunday, I am sadly not allowed to date. Mommy says no dating till I am 18-inch, Naruto joked as he smirked at the blushing angry face of Raynare while Issei had a stupefied look. Enough Ningen. Die dash, Raynare shouted, but it was for naught as she hit the ground out cold thanks to a Kage Bunshin hitting her on the back of her neck, knocking her out. The Kage Bunshin looked disappointed at the fact the fallen angel was taken out so easily. He figured they would be a lot tough to fight. So either the clone didn't hold back enough or she is just lower tier fallen angel. So Naruto turned to Issei with a drawn out word and looked at the boy. Wanna grab something to drink and eat? I can explain everything tomorrow if you like, Naruto offered with a kind smile. Please, Issei said with a deadpan, not even bothering to argue. He was too confused at the moment to what just happened. First, his senpai saved him by being killed by his supposed girlfriend, whom he knocked out with ease with some kind of copy of himself. Issei had so many things running through his mind right now, it's a surprise his brain isn't fried. Naruto just giving Issei his normal foxy grin and walked the boy out of the park. Naruto side glanced to see his Kage Bunshin takes Raynare away in a shinshin. He had some questions for the fallen one. So when he gets back tonight, he will start the questioning. But first he is taking Issei to try a ramen stand he found. Next morning, Naruto is calmly making breakfast while waiting for Rias and her peerage to join in. He had a modest 1-bed and bath house fit for 1 person. It was nice and comfortable and sorta reminds him of his home in Konoha, but with a lot less. Thankfully the villagers and some shinobi bought him a newer home as a thanks for saving them from Pain's attack. He would have invited Issei to explain some things, but he didn't because simply he isn't a morning person and Issei reminds Naruto way too much of previous age. Kami rest that man's soul. Unless he is doing his peeping on girls in heaven, then Naruto will not stop the full wrath of whatever female he peeped on. Naruto stopped cooking when he heard a female voice moan out. Our Raynare is waking up Naruto though as he flashed those some hand seals and activated her seal he placed on her to suppress her power to human level. Or at least to the point she couldn't use any of her abilities. After that Naruto started to set the table. Naruto heard someone running and saw Raynare in a plain white shirt and blue jeans glaring at him. Though her breast jiggled with every movement wide distracted him for a moment before snapping out of it. She is at least a D-cup Naruto though impressed by her body and beauty. Though he will have to break that ugly personality of hers. What did you do to me? She demanded to know. Naruto blinked for a moment before shrugging. I sealed away your powers and only I can release the seal. I wanted to ask some questions and you were the closet source of information that I needed, Naruto said as he took the pans of sausage, egg, bacon, and several other breakfast items. What makes you think I would tell you anything? She growled, to which Naruto ignored. Because without me at the moment you're at the mercy of the devils here. This also includes your own comrades, Naruto pointed out, which made Raynare take a bitter look. She never liked the other two girls or that war-loving freak. And if what he said is true, he is her only protection. Gripping her fist, she sits down and glares at Naruto with as much hate she can muster. Fine, but no funny business. And I ain't fucking you either, Raynare said. Naruto just shrugged in indifference. He didn't need or have an urge to have sex before, but he could never act on them because he was a monster or Jinchuriki still back then. Plus the fact everyone girl chased some other guy and not him. It wasn't till after the pain invasion Naruto started to get attention, but by then he was so over Sakura and every other girl fangirl bullshit that he ignored them and focused on training with Kakashi. After the war, Naruto trained to the bone to master every single thing he could, about his eyes to his elemental releases. It took him years to reach Hagoromo level, and it will be another century or two before he surpassed Kagaya. I wouldn't fuck you even if you begged me to. You might be beautiful and sexy as far as looks goes. But anything else such as your personality, you're horrible and awful. The only type of men you would bring in are ones that want you for your body. I am just being honest though. If you want a real lover and a man that treats you like a queen, then clean up your act, Naruto said, not minding the negative feelings he is getting from the fallen. Naruto felt a spike in his empathic abilities telling him she didn't like that answer, but she made no motion to deny the claim, which meant she knew he was telling the truth. Raynare already hated this man. He had the gall to insult her, a fallen angel. She didn't voice or deny it though, since every male she did attract only wanted sex and nothing else. Like most fallen angel women, they weren't great at keeping relationships. Plus the fact they only been used by other beings to satisfy their own desires. So she is very familiar that she is only a fuck toy or trash in some eyes. Plus she didn't have multiple sets of wings like that one woman whom his name is Miko, whom has a set of 5 wings, which gives her a total of 10 wings, 1 set short of a seraph level. Oh, how she hated that bitch. If you're going to keep wallowing in such negative emotions, then stop. If you feel worthless, then prove your worth, Naruto said as he sat down and sipped some tea he prepared. Raynare growled and glared at Naruto. You know nothing, mean Jin. You got lucky back. Raynare quickly shut her mouth when Naruto unfolded his 6th set of wings. 2 sets look like angel wings with a soft golden white color. The next 2 sets are pitch black fallen angel wings, and the 2 last sets are devil wings. Naruto folded his wings back away and looked at the fallen angel as she had a terrified look, knowing now she was in deep shit. She was trapped in a room with a seraph-level being and she had no access to her powers. She is at his mercy since the beginning. It was not luck that allowed me to catch you. It was skill, and from what I understand, the more wings a fallen angel or angel has, the more powerful they are. So do you really want to continue this chat peacefully, or should I invoke more extreme measures? Naruto said with a hard cold glare he only ever used on his enemies. Raynare shakes her head no, fearfully, not trusting her voice. I need to find information regarding my 2 san in this world. Now what was his name here? Ah, now I remember. Naruto thought for a moment. Tell me, what do you know of the Archangel Minus? Naruto used his father's name from this world. Oddly, Minato and Minus are close in spelling as the first three letters are the same. Though originally Minato is more of a feminine name while Minus is a male name. It's ironic his father looked much like a girl while growing up in the elemental nations. Raynare blinked, thrown off guard at the sudden question. Not many knew Michael had an older twin brother named Minus. They were the only angels ever born to be blood-related in heaven. Though she never met the man, she has heard myths of his strength and beauty. After Lucifer was thrown out of heaven, Minus was put in charge of heaven's forces. Though young Minus proved himself to be even a better leader than Lucifer. Minus also proved himself to be the first archangel to reach the seraph level, which Lucifer couldn't do even in heaven. Later, both Minus and Michael were the only seraphs at the time of the Great War, while everyone else was 8 wings or 10 wings. Shortly after the war was ceased, Minus just disappeared without a trace. She had heard Michael looked everywhere for his blood brother, but nothing turned up. Still to this day, no one knew what happened to Minus. He hadn't turned to a fallen angel, nor did he die. It was like he stopped existing altogether. I don't know much. Minus is hardly talked about by fallen angels due to Azazel-sama close relationship with his brother. Everyone knew that Gabriel, Minus, Michael, and Azazel were very close. So when everyone found out Minus went missing, they organized a search party. But found nothing from what I heard. Since then his name has been a taboo to speak about among fallen angels, Raynare answered honestly. Naruto hummed in thought with a frown. Then a small smile came to his face. Raynare, forgetting all hostile intent earlier, was now curious of who this person really is. Time to call in the uncle first, Naruto thought with a smile. I will let you go on one condition, Naruto said. He cast a simple genjutsu over her with a quick session of hand seals. What? Raynare asked, slightly nervous. She knew if she didn't do this, then she could be good as dead. And since she is a lower tier fallen, no one would suffer from it. Well, it's multiple conditions, but you will understand. 1. You never reveal what I am or anything we talked about. 2. You will deliver a message to Azazel saying someone found something on Minus, but the person wouldn't tell me anything else. 3. Whatever you're doing with Issei and that girl Asia stops now. You will gather you allies you trust and bring them to me along with the girl unharmed. 4. You will not tell anyone but Azazel this. Other than that, you're on your own, Naruto said as he snaps his fingers, released the seal Raynare had, but not completely removing it. What were with those red eyes? Raynare questioned before her snapped her attention to him as she heard him speak. I unlocked the seal. You have your powers back. Do this and I will reward you in some fashion. Now please, I have another meeting. Naruto showed Raynare the way out. Looking at Naruto for any signs of lying, Raynare studied him before finding none. Opening her wings, she shot off into the sky with haste as leaving a smiling Naruto. Well, that's one done. 2 to go, Naruto thought as he sensed Rias and them coming his way at a walking pace. They were only a block away from what he can tell. Naruto stopped and paused in thought for a moment. Shit, I forgot the pancakes. Naruto yelled, running back inside to save the pancakes. Cut. This the only part thought it was interesting.